There we go! Hello everyone, we should be here. Why is that? There we go, everyone's coming online. Excellent, excellent. We have liftoff! Welcome everyone to Blades in the Dark, our first session. Say hi everybody.
Hello!
Hello, everybody.
Howdy.
Also, before I forget, the awesome cool image that is lighting up as I talk right now is courtesy of Nopal, who is amazing. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Round of applause for Nopal.
Clap, 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 clap,
Here.
clap, clap, clap.
Yep. I realize that sounded like sarcastic. It just is not meant to be sarcastic. It is meant to be incredibly sincere. Alright, so, here we are. Here's the game plan. Yeah. A lot of what happens with Blades in the Dark is very centered on like the crew and the characters. Last time we tried this, we did it with pre-gens that I made. However, pre-gens are not always like the best way to go about it, because it's more fun when you're invested. So, this time we're going to have a season of roughly, what did I say, 10 episodes, quote-unquote, like 10 sessions. But today we are creating the characters, the crew, and if anybody watching is like, hey, this sounds really cool, I want to play in it, guess what? You can. Because it is drop in, drop out. Although, if there's enough interest, you guys might, have to fight it out. I'm not responsible for any Thunderdomes that happen. So, is everybody in Foundry? Yes. Looks like we all see. Okay. Excellent. This is the landing page. It is fun. It is pretty. It took way too much work. We'll go up to the navigation. You should see the Duskval map. This is important because you will be using it. I can drag everyone over there, but it's probably easier to not. Also, I am stuck in the loading times. Oh, I just realized this means the general public gets to see me struggle with loading things. All the time. We are at 98%. Come on, you can do it. Well, for those of you that are over there, you should be able to see all the various districts laid out with labels and some locations on there. They are all map pins, so you should be able to click on them and bring them up. As I will be able to show the audience at home when I'm not at 98% loading. There we go. This will come in handy because one of the first things with creating a crew is, of course, creating your home turf and what district you want to operate in. So feel free to look around. That is something that we can definitely do. Yeah. Any questions so far?
Nothing offhand.
Nothing for me.
Okay. Then I guess, alright, I have a feeling that like some of like our fun like background ambiance is also giving me slower reactivity on things, so Chirobot's gonna go away for the moment. Apologies to people who want cool thematic music. Blame my internet. But yeah. Has everybody gone through the player's guide? I'm gonna guess like the answer is probably a no. And that's okay.
More or less.
No.
I didn't memorize anything, but I looked at
Okay,
it.
yeah, alright. So, technically the way most of these things are set up, you create your characters before you do the crew, I kind of want to do it backwards. So I've got this thing on the front page that has a "we are a group of," and then you fill in the blank. Operating out of, you fill in the blank. Who plan to do fill in the blank. And the plan is to create that. Select kind of what your goal is, then create the characters you think would be part of the crew. I have Hand Dandy. Maybe. There we go. Crew creation rules. Here's the shortcut. Now, before I get too far into it, does anybody need a refresher on the world of Duskfall and what it is beyond creepy Victorian with ghosts and people who stab people?
We're playing
Yes.
Dishonored.
Yeah, basically we're playing Dishonored. That is 100% what we're doing. So I can answer any questions. There's like the different districts, those things, when we get there. But there are the crew types. Now, if you guys go over to the Actors tab, you should all have PCs. Right now you can all control your PCs. That's the thing. But there is the PC crew, which is your crew sheet. I don't know if one of you... Right now, again, you all have access to this. I don't know if anybody wants to be the designated I put stuff in Foundry.
I nominate Christopher.
Okay, I can do that.
Christopher, the perpetual scribe.
It keeps me on task, so I do it.
I'm eating a salad. I'm unfortunately I just can't.
Right, of course. The salad takes precedence. I see. Alright. So, Christopher, you're in charge of that. Now, you should see over in the items. Nope, I guess not. Hang on. Let me figure out how to do this. The way they have some of this set up is weird, because I think this is a drag and drop. Oh, no, there we go. If you click on the box on that sheet, you will see the crew type with the various types of crew members. Or, like the crew types. I keep saying the word type, that doesn't help. What you do, what your main modus operandi is. Which is, of course, the first question. So I'm going to turn it over to you guys. This kind of seems like, let me just throw you into the deep end of the pool without floaties and say, swim, bitches, swim. But, what do you guys want to do for the next 10 sessions? Who do you want to play as? I'm here to answer questions, but I'm turning it over to y'all.
Well, I would like to know what Bravos, Hawkers, and Shadows are, because Assassins, Cultists, and Smugglers are more self-explanatory.
Alright, if you go to the player's guide that I sent you all, there should be an outline of it. If not, I can pull it up real quick. Actually, hang on. I think they might be in...
That party group character sheet. If you click into that box, it says what type we are. It will pull up a list of all of them. There's a little question mark next to each one. You
Alright.
hover over.
There we go, Scott. You got there before me. So, Assassins, Killers for Hire, Bravos, Mercenary and Thugs. Cult is a cult. Hawkers, Vice Dealers, they sell things. Shadows, your classic Thieves and Spies. Smugglers is your Han Solo. But these are general. They're not the sum total of what you all do. It really comes down to what you... Like, these will give you sort of buffs in a particular direction. With your crew upgrades and things, but it's not like, oh, if I choose to be a cult, I can only do culty things.
you have a reputation for doing X.
Gotcha.
Maybe not.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to look at it. This is what you're known for doing, and more importantly, what you would be like to be good at doing. Think of this, if we want to do like Pathfinder, this is sort of like, this is your class. Like, what is the foundation of what you're doing? And then you can add or do whatever beyond there.
I can't ever turn down wanting to be part of a cult, but Bravos are also interesting. I mean, all of them are fine, but I have a preference for cults.
I also like Bravos. And Shadows.
I'm down for anything.
I'm pretty much the same way. A lot of those sound like they're kind of a little bit of anything we want to do.
Jen, any preference?
Originally, when I was looking at these, I was caught between Hawkers and Bravos.
It seems
So,
like good.
I think some of it also comes down to, what do you want your main sort of activities to be? Obviously, you can see like Bravos. You're having the out and out turf wars. You're doing the fighting. You're doing those things. Whereas like if you're say like Hawkers, yeah, obviously you got to fight for turf and do things like that. But you're mainly also looking at what are you selling, where are you getting it from, that sort of thing. Bravos are more like we're running a protection racket. Would it help to have a bit of a rundown of the factions that are in Duskfall to begin with?
It might, so might as well.
Alright. This is actually, it is at the bottom of the giant players doc that's linked in the shared table thing. I put it in here, but I will go through them. Alright.
Can I interrupt real quick?
Can you what?
Can I interrupt real quick?
Yep.
That's something.
Yep, go ahead.
The cultists. We chose cultists. They're like pre-made deities and cults, or we get to make up our own.
Oh, you make up your own.
All right, that's all I want to know.
There are some cults on this list, and like there's some things that like kind of the general world, but this is up to you. It definitely leans a bit more towards like the Eldritch Cthulhu type, but all right. So we've got. Actually, because you guys are asking about that, let me talk about those first. There is the Church of Ecstasy of the Flesh. Some of these I do have already in the Monk's Enhanced Journals that I can show you. I don't have all of them, but I have some. There is the Church of Ecstasy of the Flesh, which I can force everyone to see, I believe. State religion honors the life of the body and abhors the corrupted spirit world. It is essentially a secret society. It is called the Church of the Ecstasy of the Flesh for a reason. There is then the Path of Echoes, which should also be over under the factions and the journal entry. I'm going to not spam you guys constantly with sending them, but it is a mystery cult that borders on open rebellion against spirit laws. They revere the ancients, as in what happened before the cataclysm that put us in a world of perpetual darkness, uh, and seek to gain knowledge from the past, including consorting with. Those are in there. The one that I do not have in there are the Forgotten Gods. I feel like Scott's going to get real excited about this one. Cults that attempt to follow the old ways from before the cataclysm, doing the bidding of demons and darker things. There are many cults who rarely organize together. It's Cthulhu. Mythos. Like, that's kind of where it's set up. It is the old gods, whatever you would like to consider them. Those are kind of the religious aspects of it that already exist. Then we have the traditional gangs, like the Bill Hooks, those of you who played in like the kind of starter set with like the Crows, the Lamp Blacks, whoever just joined in is a Nyan Cat in the Google Doc.
It's me.
That is incredibly specific, and I'm here for it. There are the Leviathan hunters, because if we remember, the sea is black and fathomless, and that is where people hunt Leviathans. And it is from Leviathans we derive electroplasm, which is what runs everything. Because this isn't really steampunk, it's Leviathan blood punk.
So, Dishonored.
Yes, it's just Dishonored. I need to play that game, because then I could just keep saying it's just Dishonored.
It's so good.
There's also some situations with people from other places other than Akaros, which is the location that we're at right now. There is Severos, and most importantly, Skovlan. I don't know if I have like the world map in here. It doesn't really matter. Skovlan is very, I think, Ireland coded to Duskval's England. In the Peaky Blinders time, and you've got Skovlan. So there's some issues with Skovlan refugees. There's gangs forming around wanting to unionize. There are gangs forming around exploring the Darklands outside of the lightning fences that if you're on the Duskval map, you don't have to go back over there if you don't want to, but essentially the reason why we're able to live and not be killed by all the heinous things out there is the giant electrified lightning fences caging us in like we're all T-Rexes. And I'm Michael Crichton. That is essentially how we do that. Outside of that are the Darklands. You could go out there if you wanted to. There are groups around that. Pretty much whatever you can think of from Peaky Blinders, Dishonored, what you could do there. That is entirely possible to do. The city is ruled by, technically, it is part of the Empire with the immortal Emperor who has been ruling for 800-something years. There is a history of Duskval that you all have. It's in here. Look at it if you want to. For some reason there's copies of it. I don't know why. Alright. Essentially, so ruled technically by the Empire, but there is a city council, which is an oligarchy based on nobility. The City Watch, also known as the Bluecoats, are known as the evilest gang in the city. If you really want to play like ACAB, this is truly a place where ACAB. There is no argument. It is in the setting guide. So yeah. I know that's a very brief overview, but a lot of this is just what you make it.
Now I became interested in living the electrified fence. That kind of piqued my interest.
All right, so
Going into the darklands.
going into the Darklands, there is the. Let me find them. Deathland Scavengers. Uh, so apologies, I believe it is Deathlands, not Darklands. I mixed that up because it happens. But they are freelancers who roam the wasteland beyond the lightning barriers. So you could always work with them. Let me pull them up. Their sheet. So it's primarily convicts from Ironhook Prison, because of course you can't have an empire without slave labor, essentially. I mean, I'm sorry, prison labor. The heads of Duskfall are mad at me. They want me to make sure I say prison labor. There's Ironhook Prison, which is where most of the people leave from to do that. And then obviously other people going out finding old remnants from the before times, before the Cataclysm. It's implied in the setting and kind of stated that the before times are, think like Forgotten Realms, like a fantasy world with magic, that some cataclysm happened, probably a wizard did it, and we're left with this. But it's our game. So the before times and what you're looking for out there could be anything.
Interesting.
All right. Did this
Hmm.
help anybody narrow down what they're interested in? I'm very malleable.
I feel like I might have just given people like even more confusion, like not confusion, but like options or conflictions with that.
Admittedly, Scott's always super pro cults. However, I will clarify the reason why I didn't immediately jump on cults is because I know it's a little bit on the weirder side versus like in the expectations of the game, I guess.
Yeah.
I think we're leaning towards the cult. My thoughts are that even though we are, I'm not exactly sure how you're supposed to handle the cult, but what I can say is that um, the people that usually like create cults don't usually subscribe to their cults. They just create them in order to become rich or I don't know, gain something. So even though it's leaning towards the weirder side, like you said, doesn't necessarily. I think it doesn't necessarily means that we have to do the weird stuff.
So in the terms of
I
game
like it.
mechanics, there is it explicitly says when you play a cult, you earn XP when you advance the agenda of your deity or embody its precepts and actions. It is at least implied in here that there is an actual deity that you're following. This isn't just like a weird, like, I'm going to create a religion for tax purposes.
Okay.
But we could kind of mix and match with that. We could change that up a bit. Or it could even be flavoring you put on another thing. Like maybe that's your cover for something. Um, but if you look in the uh, actual like core rule book, which is in the Google Drive, it's like page 109 has the like sort of advancement in what you're getting for cults. 108 is like the cult pages. I didn't copy all that over into the um, player's guide or the Google Doc because that would have been a lot, and I didn't want to replicate the entire PDF. But the crew
Yeah,
stuff is there.
we'll be hawkers who are vice dealers. One of our vices that we deal in is this fake cult that we made up. and maybe eventually I'm gonna start believing it. Maybe because we did actually awaken something. All these people we got following it, and then maybe part of how we get the cult going is a sacrament we give out that's actually some sort of illegal drug that helps people believe in things because they saw weird shit after they take the sacrament.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Was it like you give people on drugs, and then they have their awakened revelations. However, it turns out the shit we've been selling does actually connect to something greater.
All right.
I love this. I did drop in chat. This is just the how you get the XP based on the game system for each of the things, and I figured that would be handy. Which for hawkers would be you earn XP when you acquire new product supply, execute clandestine or covert sales, or secure new sales territory. Instead of hunting grounds, you have a sales territory where you sell your product. Which honestly, like, that sounds that
Religion.
yeah. Yeah, I think the big distinction there, and I would be cool with, I'd have to look at it more closely, but I would be cool with maybe giving you guys some of the stuff from the crew playbook for cults for your fake cult, or if it becomes less of a fake cult, when you awaken something.
Yeah. Oh shit.
I'm leaning towards cult or smugglers. Because smugglers is expeditions outside the city.
Which is cool.
You could also technically, as hawkers, you gotta get your product from somewhere.
Yeah.
It could be like we're doing a hawkers or maybe cultists. We could get our product that makes them believe. Could be something from those monsters that are sold. The ones that they mine for energy. Could be some other byproduct from that we managed to get from them, and that's what makes them give them such creepy visions.
Hmm.
Gotta be something illegal somehow.
So, part of going out in the Deathlands is finding artifacts from, before the Cataclysm, or that deal with the ancients. Um, so there could easily be addictive stuff out there that y'all are finding and bringing back into the city to sell as
Or like,
drugs under the guise of cult worship.
Honestly, going out and looking for artifacts. We're not playing Pathfinder here. Stay in the city and murder people or whatever. And blades in the dark, not blades out in the dungeon. Looking for traps and loot. But I'm pretty open to anything you guys want to do. I'm just throwing shit out there, see what sticks.
Mhm.
Well, it's also one of those, like, if it kind of falls under the umbrella of the crew, if you get enough people who want to do a thing, I am more than okay with doing multiple sessions of this in a week, or 1 week we're going out to, like, scavenge stuff, and then 1 week we're doing something else. Like, that is totally fine, too. That's kind of how this works. So there definitely is that.
Take a look at the perks. Mm.
Oh no. I might have had... Oh, no, I think we're good. I just realized I thought that there might have been audio issue, and then I think we're good. Maybe?
perhaps. But yeah, I mean, wrapping these ideas together, what it can be, much like has been kind of thrown around. We could use cult as like the base idea for running our vice dealing, There could be situations where we would have to go out, you know, like, oh, some problem with the supply, or the takers that we set out to go get shit fucked up, or something like. There could be excuses that we can come up with to do multiple things. I do like the focus on the city personally, but that's just me.
Yeah, that's fine. I can see it going out occasionally because we got a lot of cultists here that want their supplying that ship sunk we usually get it from. They'll go find it ourselves somewhere. We could have people, even party members, that are, most of us know it's fake, but I mean, my character might believe it somehow.
I mean,
Scotric thinks that cult is real.
But we have to have our inner circle, that knows what's going on, and then everybody else, they're desperate to get into the inner circle.
True. What would we like? Essentially, what would we do? Like, actually do as a cult? Like, I'm having a hard time. Like I can imagine what we're gonna do if we wanna steal stuff, right? Or if we wanna like sell drugs. But like as a cult, like what are we doing? Like what are we actually doing?
What our jobs gonna be?
Yeah,
what
like
sort of crimes
just
we could commit for the cult?
It seems far more nebulous.
yeah, like are we like I don't know, doing masses and attracting people to the masses? Are
We
we
go in, and just mess up with other churches. I'm
or,
joking at that point.
Mhm. Or are we like doing sacrifices? I mean, I get the part of finding artifacts and stuff like that. Uh auguries, like consecrations. That sounds very weird. That sounds I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. It says embody the precepts of the religion. If a religious cult is based around, murder, or spreading the drugs around so that way more people are enlightened. I mean, you're doing the exact same thing everything else does. You're just trying to create a religious factor to why you're doing it, as opposed to just, money, cocaine, embodies.
Well, you can look at what you experience for a cult member. What is it we get? I can put it up there. When you play a cult, when you advance the agenda of your deity, or embody its precepts and actions. So one of the things we can have is like we get our cult rolling, and in other religions, and we can either through like assassination or blackmail or just setting up other people in other religions, basically by taking them down, we then make the space for ours to go up, type of thing. You know what I mean? Like it's not necessarily what our actual cult believes in, but what our cult does to get bigger. That's the whole. We're playing a cult. It's not like our goal is to expand our cult in size. We do crimes to have that happen, like stealing stuff, or it's like doing a sort of reverse job where we break into another cult organization and leave something there, which will then get them in trouble.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff.
I'm like if you guys know what to do, I'm down with playing a cult. When I said it was one of my options I was going to. I would probably just play it out as I'm just like higher muscle, like praise the god, tell me what to do, and then I'll just follow you guys. Like a higher muscle or a higher technician or something like that. That is just like, yeah, praise our god. I don't know what I'm doing, but praise our god.
When's payday?
Oh my gosh, you're the perfect acolyte.
Yeah.
You don't know why you're doing it. You just know that you're doing it.
Just following orders. I'm just following orders. That's it.
Yeah. Whoever the cult leader is, they're gonna really appreciate you. Uh, um, Actually, does anybody have any competing thoughts? Obviously, Nopal's brought up some potential pitfalls or things that we hadn't considered. Are there, anybody anti-cult? And they're like, no, cults are terrible, don't want to play cult, would rather do anything else, because I'm very malleable.
I mean, cults are terrible, but that's why I want to play it.
Did you say you're very knowledgeable?
Sorry, what was that?
Did you say you're very knowledgeable?
I said I'm malleable.
Oh, okay. All right, okay. Good for you, Scott. You're so knowledgeable.
I mean, well, thank you. I mean, I am, but I wasn't trying to put it out there. I'm a little bit more humble than that most days.
It is a weird mishearing.
Nah, I'm malleable. I'm cool with doing whatever.
If anybody can't understand me, just have to repeat it. My voice is getting worse and worse.
Yeah, all good. Oh, we lost just a voice?
Oh no, I just pulled
Good luck.
Chirobot out because
Okay.
with the weather and like everything
Okay,
else, my
let's make sure we didn't lose anybody.
no, my internet's being angry.
I'm very valuable also. I'm not locked into being a cultist or anything else.
These are some weird conversations. I'm not locked into being a cultist. Like, it makes perfect sense why we're saying it, but it's just funny out of context. Alright, well,
Hopefully there's some LLM monitoring all this.
Alright. Hold on. So I guess we gotta decide. Let's decide. Are we doing... is it more we're doing cult and then just kind of adding drugs to it, or are we really vice dealers with cult trappings?
I feel like there is more basis, and it would be easier for us to be vice dealers with cult trappings. At least getting our foot in the door and like learning how things go, because some of us are very new to this.
Anybody have any disagreement with that?
That's fine with me.
I don't know what Christopher said. I was trying to keep up, and I felt like he said three things that were all the same but different.
Oh, God.
I feel like being hawkers would be better for some of us as newer players to the system. And doing
Okay.
that, but with like the cult trappings, makes a nice happy medium, I think.
Do you have any preferences, Jen?
It's funny because I thought at the beginning we were all talking about something else, and now we've all decided on I don't know.
Well, the idea of the hawkers with the cult trappings came up a while ago, and then I think we've like circled back around to it.
Yeah, I'm just kind of I'm a little bit lost.
Hmm.
I'm
I
taking
think
a
Well,
look
there's
at
other.
the actual perks of the crew. Figure out
Do you
like
have your?
Yeah, if you
what
guys
they
want,
do.
yeah, you can look like like I said, in the PDF. There is like all the like different upgrades, all the different things, which should give you a bit of an idea. But it's also one of those we can kind of build it as we go. We just kind of need to decide on like the general direction. And it might be easier to zoom out on just use the sort of taglines for each of these, like what Scott dropped in Discord of like, which appeals the most based on that.
Jen, I didn't hear what you said earlier. Did you say you were thinking about one of the other types before we got into cultists?
I feel like we've all hopped around, or at least it feels like to me that there's been a lot of like, ooh, let's do this, and then, but what about this? Um, and then it's been a lot of, ooh, we could do this with like some of this added, and so.
Yeah, that's true. That's what we've done.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna ask here. Do you want to be killers for hire? You want to be mercenaries and thugs? You want to be acolytes of an actual real god? Do you want to sell vice in some way? Do you want to be thieves and spies? Or do you want to smuggle things? Let's just start there.
And I start discussing it all over again.
Nope, because I'm going to go around and ask, and you spoke first, Dirk. Which one of these do you want to do?
I would go with my first choice might be actually smugglers. Just not sure why.
All right.
It seems like smuggling seems something very solid. We can all agree what it means. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That works.
But again, I'm just not down with anything.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm asking people their opinion. All right. What? Sorry. Chris, pick one.
Cult.
All right. Jen.
Bravos.
Okay. Scott.
Oh, I was leaning towards cult
All right.
once it came up.
Nopal.
I feel like smugglers is the one that, with my practical mind, I can see the most like things to do. So I'm gonna lean towards smugglers, but I do want to leave open that I'm fine with doing a cult as long as Scott tells me what to do.
No, it doesn't have to be me. It could be anybody who tells you what to do. This is a cult. But
Smugglers
I'm
seem good to me too.
I'm also fine with smugglers, honestly.
Yeah, smugglers is good.
All right, smugglers. We're
Okay.
smugglers. We've
All
been
right.
all over the board. We've ended up in a completely different place, but we picked something.
We need somebody in the party that's very more demanding, or else too easy going.
I can be
There's so much-
demanding. I just didn't want to be demanding.
I think we all can be demanding. We all just were like, not it, and then we proceeded to walk around in circles going, not it, not it!
All right, we're smugglers now.
All right. I believe, Christopher, you're the appointed PC crew. Do the thing. Or, I mean, I can also do it. But if you would like to, click on the box and make yourself smugglers.
What box?
There's a box.
We smuggle exotic pets.
All right. I'm gonna pull this out on the sheet. Here we go. Come on. Come on. Do the thing. You can do it. Come on, Foundry.
there.
All right. Right here by Create Crew. I'm going to shift ping everybody. It should say PC Crew. Open that sheet. There we go. You have done it. Or someone did it.
Yes.
All right. Yay! An hour in, and we have done step one.
Yay!
I mean, it happens, but technically. technical issues. I mean,
Yeah, there were some technical issues. It's not just you guys. All right. So that is a overall crew type. Let me pull up my notes on smugglers. So, essentially, what you guys are going to be doing, here are the questions. What kind of contraband do you transport? Do you have any rules about what you will and won't carry?
all right. Obviously, we don't do anything with children.
I don't know smuggler.
Animals.
I know smuggler are unwilling people at all. Like if a criminal wants to be smuggled out of town, we could do that.
Yeah, coyote
Yeah,
more than trafficking.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
Right.
as a GM, I'm pulling GM fiat, and I'm gonna put like slavery as a no. Like any smuggling of people must be consensual.
Agree.
That sounds really weird too. That's a weird
Yay.
conversation here.
I guess living things in general, like, well, maybe animals sometimes, but
I feel like smuggling animals has to be like a very specific conversation and a lot of money.
That's also just hard.
what happens?
But yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, under smugglers, you have a choice of your favored cargo type. And it is here. Here we go. I'll just drop it into Foundry chat.
Threats.
I mean, that is a thing. Maybe copy.
Tricks is like the most obvious example.
All right. Probably. Yeah. Okay. Copied a little bit weird. But essentially, you've got arcane / weird, spirit essences, ghosts, cult materials. There we go. Arms, contraband, drugs, or passengers, which I think we've, unless you guys are coyotes, I think we've kind of ruled that one out.
Unless they are willing.
Yeah.
I guess unless they ask us, like, can you like smuggle me to this other place? Like, okay.
Yeah.
But is that going to be our preferred cargo or just something that we could do?
Right. This is our prefer. Like, what are we typically? You know. Like it's like, oh, would you hear both the I don't know,
Whoever the
whatever
fuck
did
we are. They do this.
yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. When you hear about those rascals, yeah.
Is it just one, or can it be
This
like
is a
a
favorite.
collection? Just a single one favorite.
Yeah. Like,
I
what are
mean,
we most known for?
I guess it could be called material, so we can do some cult stuff.
Getting into arcade and weird stuff could be,
Yeah.
you know, a good.
Interesting.
Because
Yeah,
I
I'm
think it
good
is
with
interesting.
Okay, so
I'm good
arcane.
with arcane.
All right.
Mhm.
Coach, did you see the cargo types on the sheet?
To the right of
Yes.
smugglers.
Oh,
There you
Arcane
go.
weird.
Excellent.
nice.
So, you guys smuggle arcane things. What would you like your initial reputation to be? The options over here are the ones that are suggested in the book. We have ambitious, brutal, daring, honorable, professional, which I misspelled, savvy, subtle, and strange. But you can pick any word. I mean, maybe start there. But how would you like people to see you? Oh, it looks like there are a few more. If you click on the crew reputation under the name on the crew sheet, it also has alluring, ambitious. Like there are more. Somebody did more. That's interesting. All right, so you can look at those.
Transcendent.
Yes, if you want like basically when people are saying like, hey, the PC crew's in town, they're those transcendent folks.
Monstrous.
I mean, I was gonna go towards either subtle or savvy.
I was thinking
feel
those
like
to
that's
myself.
Yeah.
yeah, that's the kind of reputation you want as a smuggler.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
particularly
was thinking too. Where
Savvy sounds good.
all three of the transport movies, so I'm down. I want a reputation as somebody that gets the job done and not going to leave your items that you smuggle in. Not going to rip you off. For criminals, we're doing crimes against the state as opposed to most. We don't do crimes against the average person in the street. That's kind of a difference in some of the other crews. I'll probably still do other ones too.
That'd be like professional.
Yeah, any of those types sound good to me.
Do we want to roll a fate out of our favorites? Not completely roll a fate. I'm not insane. Just risky.
Well, what's our short list? Let's just do that.
I think it's professional, savvy, and subtle. But I wouldn't be mad at strange.
See, if we're already dealing in strange things, I don't think we should attach strange to our reputation, because then, I think it draws, I feel like you're doubling down on something as opposed to, creating the potential conflict in the future. For example, you're
Redundant.
professional and you're dealing with weird shit. That weird shit could go awry on you, and so now you've got to figure out a way to, still be professional, and you get that drama.
Right. We should have chosen our name first and went from there.
I think that's a whole other bag. That's going to be another hour.
What are you talking about? No, we're gonna call the Thunder Rascals.
You choose your name first and build a crew that supports the name.
I anticipated. I mean, if you guys want to talk about it, I did anticipate it, and I have a list of potential names. Some of them really weird that I could throw out because I know this group.
I didn't mean to disorganize or disrupt the flow we had. We can do the names later. Oh, that more the joke. Other things are. We're going down a flow chart right now. Let's just keep on that.
All right,
Also fair.
Your short list was professional. What was it?
Savvy and subtle.
Savvy. Subtle. All right. There are 3. We're going to do 1s and 2. Professional. 3 and D6. D6 situation.
Is that subtle?
Subtle.
That's good.
Any objections? Yeah. All right, we good? All right.
Any objections? Moving on. I like how there was no time to respond.
Well, I saw it show up in there. I was like, Christopher, like this. It is no longer a Scott democracy; it's a Chris democracy.
Well, fair. I am inputting house data, so Christopher can input sheet data.
All right. So we got our reputation. Base of operations. Here we go. This is the thing. This is where you guys got to pick the district you operate out of. And the yeah, all of that fun stuff. So I feel like this is a jaunt over to the district map.
I was briefly reviewing. And 6 towers seems fun.
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah,
like the
6
weirdest place or why?
No, it's like this used to be rich people area, and now it's fallen into like slums, ruins. It's got an empty, haunted feel with many sprawling old buildings, dark without power, broad stone streets cracked and buckled, and the fires of squatters crackling from overgrown lots.
All
Which
right.
one is that?
6 towers. It's like pink one to the upper right.
Uh,
No, we
Oh
don't have to go with
no.
that. It's the first thing that I said, so we don't have to
Yeah.
listen to me.
So, as a
It was just the one that jumped out.
kind of an overview just for you guys to know about the labeling. I know I said this to Jim before. All of these icons do mean things. I'm trying to keep it consistent so people don't have to read things to see it. They can just look and be like, oh, it's this thing. So yeah, so the tower is obviously 6 towers. Which also means later on you guys get to decide what your icon will be, which I'm sure will be another hour debate. But yeah, so that's 6 towers. Feel free to, obviously, any of the name labels in red, you can hover over it. It will open up a journal entry. If there's anything else on here, I can answer questions. And obviously, we don't have to go with the first one that Scott said, just because it was the first one that was said.
I think from like a logistics standpoint that 6 towers and Nightmarket are good. But I'm wondering if the pitchfork and the jail cell are better because they have direct connection to land. And since we're smugglers, I know it's land beyond the lightning baubles, but like I don't know how much it's uh words defended. Like how much people are worried about going out. Um like if you go out that's your like you know what I mean?
In terms of access to like basically the outside, more or less, the docks are also an opportunity.
Yeah.
well, the docks are often the traditional place for smugglers.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it depends on are we smuggling stuff from the water or from land. Oh, all these canal areas doesn't really matter.
But in that case, Char Hollow, the yellow one, seems like it is relatively equidistant. Like you have the docks 2 over, and then you have the outside 2 over, more or less.
Yeah, it's a little centralized so we can get stuff to people.
Mm-hmm.
Or
I mean,
they could come to us.
it also seems like the most like these are like people. They're more likely to rat you out for shit. The way I'm reading this.
Ah, true.
What?
Hmm?
The what is this? Charter hall icon?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
scroll.
Oh, yeah, opens to Gen PC for some reason.
What? Why? Oh, well, that's weird. It shouldn't do that.
Yeah,
Well,
it just says that. It says
yeah, it's
it's
just a
just on the
name.
description. It's just a name.
And
did the name get...
the icon, yeah,
That's odd.
weird. Right?
Well, I'll fix that right now. It must have gotten somehow renamed when I was putting in... Because you guys have your own journal entries in here, which we'll get to when we get to the PC, simply because the character sheet doesn't have a lot of... We'll get there. But now it should say Charter Hall.
Hmm.
have to close it and reopen it for it to
Okay.
actually say Charter Hall.
I don't know. Maybe Jen's just
But it
running all
does
of
want
Charter
to.
Hall. You don't know.
Yeah.
They know our secret now.
Quick run.
All right. Well, I vote for Nightmarket because it makes sense. I think that's where you would go looking for smugglers. So, that place where things are being sold.
Yep. And there is the Gaddock rail station that's there. That is the
Mm.
main railway coming in and out.
There. Rail and sea, or river, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
That's a good. I like that.
Yeah, works for me.
All right. Any objections to Nightmarket? Or the picnic basket?
Doesn't sound like it. Although when I think of Nightmarket, I think of like hags.
Fine by me.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. All right. Well, if you guys do Nightmarket, then I'm gonna do a thing. I'm gonna take the purple off of it, and then I'm gonna slide the label over here so we get a bit more able to see, if that works for people.
Yeah.
I'll leave the picnic basket.
Okay, Yogi.
I said it once, and now the neurodivergent brain is, we're going to say it that way every time, and you're going to have to deal with it. I'll latch onto something else momentarily. No worries. All right, so speaking of which, while I'm here, let me just pull out. Everyone's getting the sneak peek behind my very disorganized filing system. Who's watching the stream? Let me pull out the crew thing, so we also have it on both sheets. The tile, maybe eventually when it loads in 1,000 years. There it is. Or not. I scrolled too greedily and too deeply. Yeah, so you're in Nightmarket. I should not have tried to put a tile down right now. I'm trapped like a rat. Looking at, please work. While I continue to fight with this, if somebody wants to look back on the crew page, I think Scott's on the crew page.
Yes, I am.
I believe the next thing is just straight up like base of operation. This is where you guys. Ah, yeah, it did show up. This is where you tell me about your lair. There we go. I'll drag this over.
Alright, what kind of lair do we want?
Underground?
I am pro
I guess,
underground.
yeah, if it's subtle, I guess it makes sense.
Weird catacombs.
Yes!
Since we have weird stuff.
Catacombs.
Wouldn't want to make the weird stuff uncomfortable and put it in like a normal cave.
Does Duskfall have a Parisian catacomb? Ossuary tunnels of hell?
Specifically in Nightmarket.
It does now, because that is specifically in the rules. This is very much it is up to you guys to help build this. It does now.
Yes.
All right.
Look at that, we're participating.
Yeah, look at that. Collaborative world building, baby.
Yeah, a big maze of Ossuary, like a bone stuck in a wall and little crevices, but they're really old. They're not necessarily human bones. Who built this place? Or maybe not. I don't know.
I like
Just
it.
my brain twisting around.
Oh, no, I like it.
Wait, is it like an ossuary for like an old cult for an old forgotten god, and then we're gonna
That
get mixed up with god?
maybe.
Who knows? Somebody use my mixer, assholes. But I'm making a milkshake. That plan's derailed.
Sad.
Part of me wants to be like, all right, one in the chat if you are invested in the milkshake journey now, because I am. That's not making fun of you, Scott. That's
No.
legitimately I'm now invested in you getting your milkshake.
It's not gonna happen because I don't trust myself cleaning the blades of death on that, so just gotta go through the
Fair.
washer.
Fair. Yeah, no, that's fair. I was gonna be like, alas, but then I was like, no, that's fair.
Oh,
All
you
right.
know what? I do have those shakers for protein shakes, though, and I can
Mm.
make it with that. All right, problem solved.
You
I
could just
got
be
it, guys.
doing like a shake weight, like in the background. All right. Okay, so uh, we've picked the district, and you're gonna have to deal with the faction that claims that area because, of course, all land is claimed in Duskfall. So like by some crew or another. So roughly where on this map would you like to put your catacomb? I guess your entrance to your catacombs is probably the best way to do it.
Which one is the coolest name? Let's see.
The veil of the devils. Was that youth?
Yeah, the Devil's
Tooth.
Vale is a luxurious social club known for its confidentiality and permissive policies regarding guests of arcane or unusual origins. Roland Valeris, the
Mm.
proprietor and host, is a Tycherosi with an extremely unusual manifestation of his demonic blood, rather than legs. He has the body of a serpent from the waist down, or so people say. Valaris is rarely seen in person. I shouldn't have read that last part because now Christopher is obsessed.
Yeah, kind of. I
Yeah.
want to be near the veil.
All right, let me read Devil's Tooth. Let me just tell you, Devil's Tooth, a tavern known for its secret menu of alchemical concoctions. Adventurous psychonauts may experiment with all manner of mind-altering or spirit-altering substances in the relative safety of Mistress Kember's comfortable establishment.
I think that would work if we were a different type of smugglers.
Maybe if you
But
did
I think
drugs.
yeah, but I think I know where my character is gonna be spending his free time.
Yeah. All right. So you want to be somewhere near the Veil then. So you're gonna be working with uh the Roland, what's his name that I just said. Uh so you have the option. You can pay the person controlling it 1 coin. You can pay them 2 coin and get a +1 status with them, or pay nothing and get a -1 status. Coin,
I want status with this man.
for the people who don't know, is a representation of money. I believe I'm trying to remember what coin actually amounts to. It's like a year's wages, or basically we don't track pocket money. So right now your crew has 2 coin total. Keep that in mind.
I
I
think we
am
should give them
pro
the
at
2 coin.
least.
Go ahead.
I am pro at least 1 coin.
All right.
I'm not mad at 2.
Now, I would suggest you look at crew upgrades, because there's also possibilities of spending coin there as well to avoid things. All which
Could you
move,
put the
yeah,
paper up on top here?
yeah. Unfortunately, I can't get it above the journal notes. That's a thing. That is a limitation on how I did this. I've learned. But I can scooch.
Yeah, cool.
So you guys can see. So basically, there are some other things to do with these 2 coin, if you so choose. It's not... This isn't like we'll just like blow the 2 that we've got.
I would love a status with this guy, but I think it makes most sense to just pay 1 coin.
Makes sense.
Well, assumedly, you guys would be doing some sort of dealings with him if you're supplying the cafe or something. So there is chance to like raise your status with them.
Gotcha. Then let's do 1 coin.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
So we're paying 1 coin for the hunting grounds.
Yes.
That was 0 status. Whoever that was a faction there. And the crew upgrades again. Upgrade another faction.
Yeah, what else can we get with the coin?
More status things. If you look over at crew upgrades, but that is the next thing to do.
Hmm. Hmm.
So if we're all good with the 1 coin, the next thing on the list is special ability.
Yes.
I think
Alright, I'm looking to see where the... under abilities. That's the special abilities. And then it pulls up a menu with all of them, which is not helpful.
Yeah. Well, you just go down to the last
Yeah.
ones that have the SM. All hands down.
Yeah, so the smuggler special abilities, if I can kind of go through them. All hands, which is during downtime, one of your cohorts, which is essentially minions you guys can get, may perform a downtime activity for the crew to acquire an asset, reduce heat, or work on a long-term project. Ghost passage. From harsh experience or occult ritual, all crew members are immune to possession by spirits, but may choose to carry a ghost as a passenger within their body. That's cool. Just passing through. During downtime, take -1 heat. When your heat is 4 or less, you get 1 dice to deceive people when you pass yourselves off as an ordinary citizen. Leverage. Your crew supplies illicit goods for other factions. Your success is good for them. Whenever you gain reputation, you gain an additional +1 rep. Reavers. When you go into conflict aboard a vehicle, you gain a +1 effect for vehicle damage and speed. Your vehicle gains armor. Renegades. Each PC may add an action rating to Finesse, Prowl, or Skirmish, up to a max rating of 3. And there's also like part of the family, which is their suggested starter if you want. Create one of your vehicles as a cohort. Use the vehicle's edges and flaws below. Its quality is equal to your tier +1. The vehicle can use teamwork actions using quality for rules. A vehicle can't lead a group action but may participate. If you all want a vehicle.
I would like Ghost Passage.
I had a
I think
feeling.
Ghost Passage.
Especially
Yeah,
if
I
you
think
guys are
Ghost
in
Passage makes
creepy catacombs.
Yeah.
the just passing through also makes sense because we are subtle, so taking less heat makes sense.
Mhm.
So I
Well,
think
I guess,
any of those two.
Sam, at what point would we be able to get another special ability?
That is when you get enough XP to buy them during the crew advancement and downtime. So, I mean, unfortunately, the answer is kind of it depends.
Mhm.
But that would be part of advancement. This functions more like Vampire the Masquerade or different games where you're essentially spending XP. It's not like you level and you get a thing.
Gotcha.
Well, any of those two sound fine to me. Ghost Passage or Passing Through.
Agreed.
The vehicle sounds fun, but I
Well,
don't know.
they're suggesting a vehicle
Mhm,
being upgraded because you're smugglers, so you need to smuggle shit with something.
mhm. Yeah, but we steal the stuff that we smuggle with because we're
um,
subtle.
I'm just thinking of the Dukes of Hazzard, distinct,
Mhm.
but generally. But it's sturdy because it fucking it does those leaps. It never breaks. Will them Duke boys make it over the bridge? We'll find out next week. They always do. All right, let's focus. Whoever's distracting us, they need to calm down.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, Christopher, to answer your question, it's when you fill up your crew advancement tracker, like the XP tracker, you can then get a new special ability.
Okay.
So, how often are we gonna be dealing with ghosts?
Hopefully
In
frequently.
Duskfall, every day.
But like, I mean, I guess we can like deal with ghosts, but like, actually, like, basically, how often are we actually gonna use Ghost Passage versus Passing Through? Which I'm guessing Passing Through is basically gonna be used always because we're always gonna be taking heat.
But if ghosts are basically an everyday thing, there's always going to be the chance for someone to get possessed.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. It's a chance. Like, how often I don't know. That's why I'm
Mhm.
asking. Like, how often are we realistically gonna actually make that ability effective against passing through? Which sounds like it's just like a very useful passive, whilst Ghost Passage sounds like something very convenient when you use it. But I don't know how often we're gonna use it.
Which is probably why they suggest the car or vehicle.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah, the car sounds like the most effective one.
I will say from a GM standpoint, if I'm not going to make like whatever you guys take, I will make sure that it's not a wasted ability, if that makes sense. Like it's not going to be the like, oh, this only ever comes up once. Like it's whatever you guys want to lean into. It will be useful.
That makes sense. So basically, we're saying if we take Ghost Passage, we're basically becoming the Ghostbusters. Like, not actually, but like if we're taking it, we're basically saying we're gonna be dealing with a lot of ghosts, like all the time.
That's kind of how this whole game works. Like what we're choosing to do here is what kind of helps narrow down and dictate almost the type of shit we'll be dealing with.
Okay, then Ghost Passage sounds more interesting because passing through is just very vanilla.
I am also cool with dealing with spooky ghost passages.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, we live in the spooky ghost passages.
That's
I
true.
am the passage. I mean, technically, that's the point. We can take passengers along.
Yeah.
What do we do to carry a spirit?
Hey, we can smuggle ghosts.
Oh yeah,
Ooh, that's
Yes.
that's
true.
dope.
All right, so I'm hearing we have settled on our special ability.
Ghost
There it is.
passage.
I see it. Ghost Passage. Excellent.
Operation Shake Weight was successful, by the way.
Nice.
Nice.
It was very good.
Mm.
I went with a less chunky ice cream intentionally though, because I didn't feel like shaking for fucking 4 years.
All right, what's next?
So we got a vehicle or carriage to start with. Is that right?
No, I think you hang on. So I don't think you guys did a. You did not pick like the like you guys have vehicles, but it will not necessarily be at function like a cohort. But I mean, you guys have
we
vehicles.
we have crew upgrades too as
Yes.
well, and yeah,
Well, looking at PDF, the smuggler section, it says starting upgrades,
Yeah.
training prowess in vehicle or boat or carriage.
Okay.
yeah.
I don't know, I think I have an old PDF or something. I'm not
Yeah,
positive.
Yeah.
I see the same thing.
Yeah. Um, I'm swapping back and forth between the crew creation and then the uh starting.
So it says arcane weird is our favorite cargo type, all right?
Yep.
So people are gonna call us when they need to smuggle spooky stuff that they don't want to get possessed by or something like that.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And I
Does that
looked
mean our name has to be Ghostbusters?
at I looked at one of the later ones, and apparently you could eventually sell things to ghosts and demons.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can
So
you sell ghosts to ghosts?
I mean, you could. All right, but you guys do get to pick two more upgrades. You have the starting upgrades, prowess, and vehicle, but you do get two more.
Ooh.
The smugglers upgrades. It is like page 120 on the PDF. I don't know where it is on the Foundry thing, but also feel free to like drop a screenshot in the Foundry chat if somebody wants. I'm afraid if I do too much on my computer, it will scream at me.
It really sucks trying to get a screenshot of an iPad. You gotta push these two buttons simultaneously.
Oh, all right.
I never
Don't worry
managed to
about it.
do it. I always push one
Hang on.
before the other.
I'll try it. Oh, we got it.
Yeah,
Scott to the rescue.
I had it in earlier, but it didn't fully
It didn't
set
say.
to
Oh,
rent it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which ones do I go ahead and put on the ones that you said we had, the prowess and vehicle?
Correct. We have we have vehicle and prowess. Training prowess. Yeah.
And would it be SM vehicle one or just the?
I would assume the SM vehicle.
Okay.
Let's see what it does. Yeah, one. All smugglers start with vehicle, and then the 2 would be it gets armor.
Gotcha.
Are you still there, Jen? I have not heard your voice recently.
Yeah, sorry, people talking at me.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I just want to make sure. All right, so we have. Does somebody want to read those out? What the options are while I stuff my face full of chicken tenders?
Gotcha. Smuggler rigging. 2 of your carried items are perfectly concealed. You could carry 1 load of contraband and a pistol, perfectly concealed, even against a pat down, as as an example. Camouflage. Your vehicles are perfectly concealed when at rest. They blend in as part of the environment or as an uninteresting civilian vehicle. Your choice. Elite rovers. All your cohorts with rovers type get plus 1d to quality rolls for rover related actions. Barge. Add mobility to your lair. You can move it to a new location as a downtime activity. Steady. Each PC gets plus 1 stress box. This costs 3 upgrades to unlock, not just 1. And vehicle, which we already have, but if we get it again, it gets armor.
Now there are also some generic crew upgrades. Like the training is one of those. And that is where the cohort is, which is essentially if you want a gang to work for you. That is page 95.
On these ones that Christopher read, I mean, I don't think we're gonna take barge, right? Because like I don't think catacombs can move. So I don't think that would
Well,
make
it would
sense.
be like basically choosing a new location in the
Yeah,
catacombs.
well, that's true.
But ideally, we wouldn't need to move, so I'm fine with not taking that.
Yeah, rigging and camouflage, both of them sound cool. Like they go along with the subtle thing.
hmm
I have no idea how elite rovers would. I'm not sure how it would work. I know what
I
it does. I'm not sure how we would use it.
Could you explain rovers, Sam?
All right, so rovers are a cohort. You would have to spend an upgrade getting the cohort,
Okay,
Yeah,
which
gotcha.
I'm dropping that in. It just right now, like I said, because my computer's screaming. It takes her a minute. She's slow, but she get there. Um,
So we would have to get both a cohort and then make them elite rovers to make the most out
correct.
of that
Out of that
upgrade.
specific upgrade, you would have you would
and,
have to
and
have
cohorts.
a cohort first.
And cohorts are a 2 upgrade cost.
Right.
Oof.
So
Okay.
that would be all you guys would get to do extra from this. Those are what I just put in there. Those are like the generic.
Okay.
And when we create a gang, we pick a type. So it would be our 2 upgrades would be like say get rover. So then later down the line we can make them elite.
Okay.
Yeah. So rovers are sailors, carriage drivers, deathland scavengers. There are also types adepts, scholars, tinkerers, occultists, chemists, rooks, artists, spies, socialites, skulks, scouts, infiltrators, and thieves, or thugs, killers, brawlers, and roustabouts.
All right. Hidden lair sounds good. Some of
That
the other
sounds
ones
awesome.
sound very what's the word, like we might use them, but who knows if we'll, like, depends on the characters that we make, like the workshop, for example. I guess if we have a leech could use the workshop. I don't know. Were you gonna say something, Christopher?
I think, like, specifically looking at the smugglers upgrades, I think we should probably get the smuggler rigging.
Sounds good.
Just as simply less of a chance of us getting caught with things.
With ghosts inside of us. Can they
Well,
detect ghosts inside of us with a pat down?
I mean, I assume there's some type of scanning
Yeah,
things or
spirit
whatever.
wardens, like, a lot
Oh.
of the occult stuff isn't super well defined, so it's kind of how we make it. But, like, yeah, that would probably be noticeable by at least some people. Although I think Jen,
Are they gonna go?
did I hear an from Jen?
I don't think so.
Okay,
Mhm.
I heard they say something and I thought it was you. I don't know. Maybe I'm just hearing things.
Well, I was gonna say that they could go like, is there a ghost inside of you, or are you just happy to see me?
AirPods don't last very long, do they?
Anyway, I think what I already said that smuggler rigging and camouflage sounds like the most effective right now. Oh, or hidden lair. Hidden lair also sounds good.
Hmm.
I'm so for the rigging, and I don't have an opinion about which other one we should take. So
Then I
I
guess we already agree on the smuggler rigging,
Yes.
at least.
Yeah, I would say the hidden layer mechanics make sense for the way you guys described it because you can have, if your layer is discovered, use 2 downtime activities and pay coin equal to your tier to relocate it. Like that would just be like, oh, we moved to another part of the catacombs. Like I feel like it is
Hmm.
that, or I would also say that you could do the same thing with barge, which is honestly better because you can move it to a new location as a downtime activity.
Yeah, but it's not as thematic.
Fair.
It is true.
Because-
Then I guess
Mhm.
the only difference is that it costs less to move it with barge than hidden layer.
That is true. That's kind of the benefit of it. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just slightly less hidden, but it is one of
Yeah,
those
because
like
hidden lair.
you
Mhm.
you have it disguised to hide it from view. So this would be like if somebody stumbled upon your lair in the catacombs, they wouldn't notice that it was a lair in the catacombs. Versus if you just had barge, it would be like, oh, we found where this crew hides their stuff, but you could move it easily.
Hmm. I would,
Yeah, hidden lair literally says that it is hidden. So
yeah. So I'm definitely leaning more towards hidden layer in this case.
what would happen if we had both barge and hidden lair?
I mean that would be the best case, but
I'm not saying right now, but I'm
I
saying
would
like
say
long
that
term.
would, I mean, that would cut the cost of having to hide it again.
yeah, it's just like, oh, we've been discovered. Move, and we move, and that's it.
Okay.
I'd have to think
I'm
about it
with
whether
you.
there
I'm
would be either that or it would get rid of the coin to do it. Like, because I feel like you would still need to spend a little bit of like extra downtime to hide it.
Obviously, yeah.
But I'd have to think about exactly how to do it. But it would be one of the other. There would be benefit to stacking.
Hmm. But as of right now, I am for hidden layer.
Smuggler rigging and hidden lair.
That sounds
Yeah.
perfectly fine to me.
All right.
I
Now,
agree.
as you're doing these upgrades, one faction helped you get to the upgrade, and one was harmed when you did the upgrade. Now, I can read out the various factions of this, or because this is how this game works, you can also create rivals or factions or anything like that.
Man, we really pissed off them brokeback donkeys.
Look, if you want to have brokeback donkeys, technically they would be
I'm still
goats
partial to
because
the what?
there are no horses in this setting. Actually, this might. I mean, Jen, you can bargain with me on it. It's goats. Everything's pulled by goats.
Brokeback
I like
goats
goats.
does flow better.
Brokeback goats.
Fair enough.
Well, yeah, because
Uh,
their backs are broken from all the hauling they've had to do. Right. That's
Yeah.
totally where that comes from.
That's what I was going
But,
for. What else did you think it was?
I
Came to the
but I would like to.
Mhm.
Sorry, Scott. I would like to point out that donkeys are not horses. Horses and donkeys are different things.
No, I know
A
that,
mule. Oh yeah.
but the only
Okay.
reference of things in here are goats.
Are okay. Only goats.
So,
Okay.
I mean, we could decide they're also donkeys, but like, as of right now, it's only goats.
Well, no, obviously, it's
Okay.
children of the goats.
Dare I say, goatlings?
Can we smuggle
Aw.
The
goat
goatling.
goat ghosts?
The brokeback ghostlings. The brokeback ghostlings. Now we're just being ridiculous, team.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
back to serious things like naming ourselves the
We?
Thunder Rascals.
One of the various like randomly generated crew names that I found was 3 rats and a knife. Just so you all know.
That's dope.
Oh.
We'll get there when we get to the names. But all right, so I'm going to assume because you guys want to be associated with the Veil, correct?
Yes, yes, yes.
So,
Yeah.
you would take the +1 with Roland Valeris, and you would take the unless you want to spend a coin and get +2 status, and then the faction that was harmed were the Brokeback Goats, your competitors. You can name them something else if you like, but I heard Brokeback Goats, and I'm going to stick with it for now.
I like it.
That sounds good to me.
I am just a troll today. Oh, trolls are under bridges. We're kind of under a bridge. We could call ourselves some related to trolls. Oh, the
Ghost
goats, the 3
trolls.
billy goat groves, whatever. Look at that. It's all coming together.
What about the ossuary trolls?
Well, we'll worry
Bone
about that
trolls.
later. If you hate everything we're saying, anybody else who's here, please interrupt me because I am not.
I'm interrupting you.
help today.
I'm interrupting you.
Ghost bone.
All right, so, but as of right now, that I believe satisfies the crew upgrades. Do you want to spend any your last remaining coin to either get a +2 status with Roland Valeris or reduce the status you lose with the Brokeback Goats?
I would like to gain status with the Veil.
All right.
I will second that.
I will add a new actor in here. No, Remy, you cannot come out. If anybody does want to know who this Remy is, I refer to it as my dog, not another Remy that plays in Crash's server. That has confused people before. So, this is... you do not have access to it. I will make you observers. It should say PC Crew Faction Tracker.
Okay.
Where I will be able to put...
Do I do anything on the...
No, that will be
PC crew?
me. And I'm just going to put... I'm going to have to make the faction to put them on here, but we're just going to use the bill hooks right now because that sounds kind of like Billy Goats. So we'll just go with it. Because I just want to show you what it looks like. So, if you all open it up, because you should be able to look at it, it should say the bill hooks, tier 2. Then you have status. Obviously, on the right side, the blue ones, those are good. You want that. That means they are allies. Well, maybe you don't want it. Who knows? The red side, that is bad, and if you get to the death symbol, that means war.
Ooh.
Okay, now I'm tempted to ask if we can spend our last coin to make them hate us more, because that sounds fun.
I mean, you could, but So anyway, so yeah, so like a -1 would put you here. So that's it shows up. So adversaries is -1, 2 is enemies, 3 is 3 is at war, I'm sorry, you're correct. That is just defeated. So 3 is at war. Which does actually have some mechanical things on your guys' downtimes. If you're at war, it's kind of assumed, like, you've gone to the mattresses or whatever that Godfather thing is, that you can only do limited amounts of downtime activity. Because, you're doing war stuff.
Why isn't there a plus for where we get married?
I don't know. There's associates, friends, allies. Look, I did not do this coding. I don't know how to work with it. You can talk to the people that made it. This is not your Naga boyfriend visual novel. That's what you write the fan fiction for. You can even post it. You know what? On my website, I will make a link. I will make a link on my website for this to your AO3 where you write fanfic about whoever your character is and Roland Valeris. I will do it. This is the plug. I'm still working on the website. However, it is www.broken-nerdy.com. So,
All right.
we have those situations. I will make those factions up. Then we have contacts, which should be, I believe, on your sheet. You have contacts. Did they not import? I can import them. There they are.
You have become British.
I don't know where that look.
British context.
It was either that or like, I can't do that, Dave.
Fair.
So, contacts. You have Decker, an anarchist, Ellen, a dock worker, Esme, a tavern owner, Niall, a spirit trafficker, Roland, a drug dealer. I'm going to assume that's a different Roland. And Sarah, an arms dealer. You must pick one that you like. You must pick one that does not like you.
I'm pretty sure Christopher is already looking at the spirit trafficker.
You know me so well.
I can see why the spirit trafficker wouldn't like us for competition.
That's true.
Mm,
That's flavorful.
that is flavorful. It does make
I
sense.
was thinking the dog worker could be a good contact if we have to use the dogs.
I like that.
Yeah.
And the tavern owner too, because I don't know, we are under. Was the Vale a tavern or like a bar or something like that? I don't remember. Wait, let me check. The Vale.
The Veil was
Yes, a club.
Yeah. You got it.
So it could be like where's the thing? Tavern owner. No, that would be a different thing. I don't know. Yeah. I guess I like the thing about making the spirit trafficker the negative one.
Mm-hmm.
Our competition sounds cool.
Yes, it does.
We're not dealing with drugs. I don't think we're gonna be dealing with weapons.
Not really.
I don't know why we would use an anarchist.
What are you talking about? Anarchists are fantastic. They hate the government, so they'll interfere with government ops that are trying to look around the area.
Fair.
Yeah, and you could probably spin anything to say like, "Oh, government's gonna do this." We'll be in for
We
it.
could use them as a distraction to cover up our stuff. Go do something. Yeah, so go do something anarchistic while we smuggle. All right. Anyway,
But I think
guess
the
I
dog
already.
worker is my preference.
I need to take a break because the beasts need to be fed.
All right.
I need to take like 10 minutes. You guys can continue if you want, or if we, I don't know, whatever you want.
I guess that's up to everybody. Do we want to hang out, or do we want to just everybody take a break? Because we can do either.
I'll be sitting here either way, so it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, same here.
I am also doing a bunch of stuff, but I am right here.
All
I
right.
suppose we will be hanging around.
We'll be hanging around. I mean, if we want to talk about like personal life stuff, we can take a break on the stream. Just tell me. Otherwise, if you guys have any questions about any of this or how it all works, because eventually we do have to get to PC creation, but I think that will actually go faster.
Yeah, well, because we're all making our own choices,
Yeah.
relatively speaking.
Yeah. But if you guys do look at so the claims map, that is ultimately sort of where you guys go, because you guys have a lair. Hang on, let me click the lair. Will that? No, that doesn't do a thing. So you have the lair, and then it's essentially choose where you guys go to advance different claims. And if you see the lines on there, that kind of shows like the path you have to go. So like if you want to get a tavern, you have to like first get turf. Either 2 turfs or a turf of iced in, and then a tavern. Now, some of these are very specific. It's not for this. I don't remember which one it is. I think it's the Assassins, where it's legitimately like a hagfish farm to get body disposal. Which, I mean, that's a good body disposal, but that's also very specific. And I'm cool with being less specific. It's mainly the mechanics on there, and how we want to say you do it is how you do it. Although I guess you guys do also have to tell me what vehicle do you all have? Like what kind of vehicles? That is a thing. There's not like a list of them. This is like flavor.
Their options, at least on their suggestions were either boat or carriage.
Yeah, and that's the goats, the goat carriage.
I feel like we should do boats to spite goats.
I mean, plus we're on the water. Might as well make use of the reason we chose it.
Mm-hmm.
They can look like the creepy ferryman stuff.
We can expand our fleet later to get more vehicles.
This is true.
I have a question about the ghost passage ability we got. I thought we're going off on a tangent again. If you don't want to do that now, that's fine.
Well, I'm here to hear about it.
Okay, it says from harsh experiences or cult ritual, all crew members are immune to possession by spirits and may choose to carry a ghost as a passenger within their body. Then in italic is like, what do you do to carry a spirit? Must the spirit consent, or can you use this ability to trap an unwilling spirit within? I'm kind of curious if we have more, lock this down a little more, what actually it means. Like, if I'm carrying a spirit in me, can I communicate with it? Things of that nature.
That is a
detectable by others.
Some of that is how you want to play that. There is let me pull up the page 252 in the PDF talks a little bit about the hauntedness of things a bit. There is also a section on, let me get to it. Yeah, because technically, if you guys die, you could technically come back as a ghost. There is a playbook for ghosts. They are disembodied spirits craving vengeance. So yeah, I would say if you wanted to, you could definitely talk to them. The attune action is where you open your mind to the ghost field or channel nearby electroplasmic energy through your body. So I feel like that, like talking to a passenger, that would definitely be a thing.
All right. As detectable, like if we run into some of these blue coats, they have like little metal detector type thing they run over, see if we got any ghosts in this, or
Blue coats probably wouldn't. That would be spirit wardens.
right, whatever it is.
Yeah. Probably they might be able to, just regularly, or like if you're being haunted. I feel like that would have to be like an active thing. But if they suspect there's a lot of ghost activity, they might be doing like a pat down, sort of situation.
So the ghost detecting ability is fairly common amongst a certain type of cop.
Yes,
That like
I
we
would
don't have to
say.
worry about in certain places.
Yeah, that's a pretty common um, thing. So anytime a person dies in Duskfall, um, the spirit wardens have to go uh, collect them. Otherwise, like collect the bodies or the spirits, I mean. Otherwise, they become ghosts and start haunting things. So ghosts are a pretty common occurrence. It's just kind of like it's not super rare.
Huh.
Obviously, we can play
Or,
it kind of how we want to there.
I'll
Um,
read up on ghosts in a minute, but
yeah,
like, is there intrinsic value in ghosts? Like, say, somebody important is about to die, somebody powerful. Everybody knows he's dying, and like, we get a job to grab his spirit before the ghost warden get him. Is that
that
something that could possibly happen?
yes, absolutely.
And it might be like, why would somebody want a spirit? To like question it, or to like use it to power something, or
Yes.
there's some other reason
I
somebody
know you
want it
asked
for.
both, but the answer is yes, because there's some thoughts that spirits have, like, do have parts of electroplasm in it, so arguably ghosts could power electricity. Um, that is a potential thing that is at least floated about as far as the thoughts go.
All you need now is to get their skeletons working. You've got a labor force and energy.
Okay, Anthrazia.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
my
no,
inner my
no.
my inner necro girl. I probably
Yeah,
shouldn't say it like that.
yeah, yeah.
My
Well,
inner
you did,
necromancer.
you did. Um,
Yeah.
So okay, so here at page 210 has the start. It's the unquiet dead. This is where they talk about it. But it is said that the cataclysm that shattered the earth, banished the sun, turned the seas to black ink, was caused by a sorcerer who consorted with demons. I was right. A wizard did do it. And tore down the gates of death. But who believes such ancient tales? And then it's like it's up to you. But Bells, Crows, and Warden says when the spirit bells at Bellwether Crematorium ring, or the spirit bells ring whenever someone dies in the city. They may only be heard by those near the site of the death and by the spirit wardens, whose arcane mass are attuned to the bells. A death seeker crow leaves the belfry and flies to the district where the dead may be found, circling ever closer to the corpse every minute. It's the responsibility of the wardens to recover the body and remove it to the crematorium, where it is dissolved in electroplasm to destroy the spirit before it can become a ghost.
Ooh.
A ghost is a spirit without a body, craving life essence and vengeance on its earthly enemies, composed of semi-solid electroplasmic vapor, suffers limited harm from physical attacks, but is vulnerable to electricity and arcane powers. So that is officially ghosts. And like I said, if one of the PCs dies, there is a ghost playbook. You can do that. There may also be vampires, but you have to find a vampire for that to work, and we're not starting there.
No, it seems like you're targeting someone with that one.
Me.
I was gonna say half this group. No, just then, because it's essentially like you're changing your playbook or like adding like your playbook, so it's kind of like multi-classing, so it's much easier to like not start there. Just for the general game learning situation. Also, I did officially create the tracker for Brokeback Goats. Um, now I'm trying to figure out like their tier. I mean, you guys start off at tier 0. Let me pull up the thing that helps me because there's like a whole calculator thing on like magnitude and such. All right. I'm gonna. Okay, looks like based on the area and scale, tier 1 is a small gang. We'll go with their tier 1. That sounds good.
I'm sorry. I've got all sorts of goat jokes and such. I'm gonna save them.
I'm sure.
Turns out that I have more fun with my creativity while I'm doing my job, whilst I'm trying to come up with game stuff. Maybe I need to do more of that. I need to work more during our games. That's what I've just said.
Yeah, apparently. Alright, so you guys are, let's see, adversaries with Brokeback Goats. Alright. That does also mean I now have to find a goat token. Hang on. That matches the other one. What is that? That's the game icons. Find a goat. Have I ever told the story about the time that, like, I helped a goat do an underwater treadmill for rehabilitation?
I have
Doesn't
not
sound
heard of
familiar.
this.
That is the thing I did when I was volunteering at the canine rehabilitation at University of Tennessee Veterinary Hospital. They had um, a goat come in that needed the physical therapy in the underwater treadmills, and so I got to babysit a goat while it did that. So yeah, that was a thing.
Fair enough.
All right, let's see. I made the thing. Choose file. 5,000 years later. All right, I guess we can also begin the conversation on the name. I love how I say that like it hurts my soul.
I think we should do something mermaids. Because we're gonna be on ships.
It might almost be easier to choose one person and let that person name it. Whatever they choose. Not that I'm saying we do that. That was just a thought I had. Kind of it's going to be a lot of going back and forth for a name.
That's true. Who would you pick?
Probably just as long as discuss that.
See? Yep.
All right, here are the
Yep.
possible crew names that I compiled. And yes, if you go down to the last version, offbeat or eccentric, the first one is 3 rats and a knife.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yay.
I did kick off some of the name discussion. Also, if you do open up the PC crew faction tracker, you will see Brokeback Goats and their symbol, a goat.
Mhm. Where is that?
It should be in the PC folder as an actor. Should say PC crew faction tracker. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, nice. Brokeback goats.
Yeah, I will figure out the rest of their stats and stuff. Not while we're doing all this. But because names, and like I said, I did share, you guys should have gotten the pop-up thing with possible crew names. You do not have to use any of these, but a lot of times when it comes to names, people are like, meh. So here you go. There's also
Like
the
eels,
Owls of
smile.
Nothing, which is funny.
Yeah, Owls of Nothing is funny.
I'm not getting this pop up you mentioned.
You did not get the journal. Try again.
The journal. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Should be a journal. It's called Possible Crew Names.
yeah, we got it now.
And like I said, I just like these are just ones that are like thrown together. Some of them are intentionally dumb.
I do like the eel's smile, but I could also go for like one that isn't on this list, which is like the boatman. Because if we're on boats,
Ooh, that's spooky.
yes.
So now there
What was that
is
first one?
a faction called the Gondoliers. There is that. I just want to
What
point
was
that
that
out to you
first one you
guys.
mentioned that you liked, Jen?
Eel's smile.
Oh, the eagle's smile. I see.
Oh, okay.
That's sweet.
It's under artsy and the
Yeah, I saw it down there.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you said.
We're the gondoliers.
Oh.
You know what we do? We're tourist exploitation.
No, actually, the Gondoliers are not.
I mean, I'm making fun of actual gondoliers.
I know,
Please tell
but
me.
I want to tell you about this actual faction though. They are canal boat operators, venerated by ancient tradition, said to know occult secrets and many things submerged in the dusk. They are essentially they did the Spirit Warden's job before the Spirit Wardens existed, by protecting the citizens from rogue spirits and supernatural dangers, because so many people would drop bodies in the river or like in the canals, and that's where all the vengeful spirits would show up. So the gondoliers are also kind of crime fighters or
I like to go with
ghost
something.
fighters.
A lot of cultures have stories about when people die, their spirits have to cross a river like a Styx or something. And there's somebody there that takes them across. We have something like that incorporated into our character's name, or group name rather.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how.
The Karens. I mean, it sounds perfect. We can be both bitchy and bury the dead.
Damn.
Because CHARON. Just
Yeah.
to clarify.
I do like that farriers. Although I think that's also like horseshoes though, right? Farrier.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's
the
FA.
Ferraris,
Yeah.
the Porsches. Ghost walkers? Nah, that's too generic.
I really like the black salt.
The Ghost Blasters.
There is no. I'm drawing the line on that because I would never be able to take this game seriously.
You
Oh,
realize I wasn't saying that
Yeah,
it's a
I
serious
know.
name.
I do the Ebon thread is also like a cool one on there. When like I
I
found that
liked Ebon
one,
thread.
like I
Yeah.
do like that because it has the kind of spooky thing. There is like the like thread of smuggling. I'm not trying to tell you guys what to name your crew. I'm just throwing that out there. That one was cool. That or three rats and a knife. Please don't pick that one. There will be a crew named that somewhere.
Where is it? Oh, three rats and a knife.
Or 3 rats in a trench coat.
The
Yeah, with three cults in a
second
trench coat.
skin. Yeah, I like the Evan thread too. I like the combination of. I don't specifically like moth-like, but something like for example, Evan-like. Also sounds kind of edgy, and I like edgy.
Sounds like a song from Camelot.
The Evanmere. Rust Widow. What the hell? Splendid Wreck. Beat Like Stars sounds like a song from Odd Parents.
These were all just supposed to be a starting point. Like I said, some of them were like intentionally done like to be weird. Let's see, mirror. That's a water
Like
thing in something, right?
yeah, it's like a swampy lake kind of
Yeah.
thing.
And I mean, the Void Sea is in fact a black body of water, which is why on the map all the water is black on here.
The splinters.
Hmm. And we can learn how to train mutant turtles.
We already nixed the 3 rats and a knife.
The
No.
final word.
I do like the Ebon Thread. That was on the list of ones that I liked. The
The Ebon Mirror is from Elder Scrolls, by the way.
Ebon Thread works for me. I think
like
most of what you guys listed.
I think Jen, you'd also said something about like maybe like mermaids or like mer something, because water.
Yes, I'm pro mer something.
I didn't know about like ebon mermaids. I don't know how that worked.
3 mermaids and a dagger.
Yep. Trident. 3 mermaids and trident.
The Black Bones.
I mean, they're each of
2
their own.
mermaids, 1 cup.
Oh, no.
No.
I literally just did a spit take with like fries and Sprite. God damn it, Dirk.
Oh, that's rough. Hey, I got all my houses done that I can do.
Yay.
Yes, good job.
Hopefully your work does not win. Ebon Ossuary. That is cool. There is also, what about the Ebon Sirens?
Ebony Bones.
Mm.
Oh no.
What? Oh no.
Both like
No,
good harmony.
the
Okay,
word
like the
ebony just, I don't
The Ebon mermaids.
know.
I like Ebon
Ebon Siren.
Sirens.
That works too.
Sirens are a good one.
Or just the Sirens.
We only
They're
have to
trying to be
sing.
subtle, though. Sirens are not known to be subtle.
But they do lure things.
True.
We lure ghosts. The subtle sirens.
That's a little go on the nerve.
The silent sirens. No, that doesn't make sense.
This is the first thing that popped into my head when I was thinking something mermaids. With like the murky mermaids.
You know, I mean, just the mermaids. It doesn't have to be fancy.
Yeah, actually, yeah. That. Now I gotta look up the icon for that. I'm gonna laugh if it's like the Starbucks icon. Can't use that.
I read the
Copyright.
murky mermaid sounds like an inn we'd go to.
Why mermaids are not tritons?
I'm pretty sure you guys pick for this point. We had all kinds of good choices. I think we need to like start cutting it down.
Nopal, why not what?
Tritons.
I was under the impression Triton was a weapon.
Not trident. Oh my god! Like
So
trident.
Trident is a weapon.
Oh.
Triton is what Iara is in Vidari.
Ah.
Like it's like a D&D race thing. Also,
typing things in chat, Christopher, does not help me because that means I have to read.
I mean, tridents could also work. The tridents. Nah, that sounds more like brow bows, like fighters.
yeah, I will say I looked up like the mermaid icon on like the game icons thing. I would find you guys a different one because it's it's special.
Is it sexy?
No. It just is. It'll load in
Is it
eventually.
Starbucks?
It is not, actually. That would be better.
Oh, yeah.
It's just kind of derpy. I don't
It's
know how
kind
to
of
explain how to describe it, but it is
yeah.
it is yeah, it is everything and nothing at once. But
I think it's the circle. The circle on the. I guess it's trying to be the
the
face. It's
face,
kind of.
yeah, that's like yeah, everything else is good, but like the weird circle for the face is kind of throwing me off.
It's like a
Yep.
logo for a fake tech company.
But I can find another one. If you want to be the mermaids or the tridents, that's also cool. I do like the idea of you guys being like the ebon mermaids, but then other people call you the murky mermaids because, you know.
If we have different names. Shadow mermaids. Reminds me of the. There's a dude that used to make, or I guess a team of people that used to make videos in YouTube. It's like it was like a Marvel and DC knockoff, or I guess a parody. And there was a dude called the Big Bang, which was like kind of like Superman, but it's the Big Bang from the creation of the universe. And he has a sidekick which was called Boy Big Bang, I think. Yeah, Boy Big Bang. And in one episode, he doesn't want to be called that anymore, so he splits from Big Bang because he doesn't want him to change his name, and he starts calling himself the Black Hole. But then people criticize him because blackwashing, because he's white and he shouldn't be calling himself the Black Hole. So he starts calling himself the White Hole. But people don't like it because they didn't even know that a white hole existed. So now they're being what's the word, like manspreaded, like he's trying to teach them something about the galaxy. So they make him change his name again, and now he's just the hole.
I thought they were
The
gonna go the
hole.
asshole.
Yeah,
The
the a
hole is
hole.
actually worse than being called the asshole.
Yeah, it's just the hole.
All right. So, team name.
I
Is
like
it
I like
another?
Lemon Thread or Sirens or Mermaids, I guess. I don't know, Mermaids feels a little bit off theme, so
Yes,
maybe something like the Evan Mermaids or
yeah, they
the
have
Ghost Mermaids.
Sirens also for some reason just feels like it fits the vibe of like Blades in the Dark more than like Mermaid to
Yeah,
me, but
because it's
again, it's also
spooky.
like your guys' like call on that one.
It's also a little bit off theme. Maybe if we were working in the docks and had like the barge thing, and we were working on like an actual barge. But yeah, it would make sense, or it would be more thematic.
N-
But sirens
Our
are kind of
vehicle
spooky,
is
so
boat,
Yeah,
though.
you guys are on boats.
we are.
What if the boat is the siren or something like that?
We that could always be,
Or
That's fair.
or like it's
we're
one of the,
sirens because we are luring people to their doom.
yeah, it could be a thing. There could be you guys could be the Ebon Thread, and then like a front you guys have are the sirens, or like you call the boat the siren, or like people who work for you are called like the sirens of the mermaids. That could always be
In
a
that
thing.
case, it would make more sense to be like the Ebon Mirror, and we have the siren and the mermaid or stuff like that, because water creatures. But I don't think we should be called the Ebon Mirror because that would be like copyright infringement.
Well, really, whatever nickname we have is probably given us by somebody else.
Yeah.
It's probably like those dock assholes or something. It's our name. I guess
So
most
hard.
gangs make their own names. I don't know. I've never been involved in a gang, so I don't know how they get named.
So some
They're
of the
usually named
other,
after locations.
it's like there's like the red sashes. That's based off like the Red Sash Sword Academy. It's an Iruvian thing, but my guess is they wear red sashes. Uh, then there are the crows operating out of Crow's Foot. Um, Bill Hooks, based off of a Bill Hook. Um, so like yeah, I mean they're based on stuff like that, but it's like you guys could also like sign your stuff like as the Siren or like whatever your mark is, which could also be like a trident or something. Like this is the mark you put on things for like your turf, and that's just like how it becomes a thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. We got like a little brand we put on back our crates when we're smuggling. There's an image there. It's kind of small, but we can spot it ourselves, so we know which ones to pull out of a big stack. I think people have noticed that now. They just refer to us by our trademark, as it were. Yeah, I'm
I'm
done
aware
talking
that
about this. You guys figure it out.
Sorry.
Don't apologize. I didn't mean anybody had to apologize.
No, I just didn't mean to interrupt.
Okay, what were you gonna say, Jen?
I know that I've been advocating for water-based thingies because of the ship transportation, but there is also a name under sinister and menacing that is Gravedust, and I like the idea because we're in catacombs that like people started to know us and our territory because we're so subtle. The only thing we left behind is like little bits of grave dust everywhere, and so that's how we got our name.
I'm gonna give Jen my proxy vote on this.
Pretty cool.
Are there any?
There's what's the like an investigator, the police are looking for us, and all they can find is grape dust, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's them. We don't know their name. We just call them grape dust because that's what we
Those
find."
grave dust
Grape.
assholes. Like, yeah, like, because that's all. It's like they go to the scene and it's just like grave dust again.
What's your group called? We're actually called grape dust. Oh,
Are there any objections to grave dust? The grave dust. Christopher?
No objection.
It does tie into your ossuary.
Yeah.
what did you say the person that was half snake was called?
Like, their name or like what they are?
Yeah, what they are. 'Cause it's not
Naga.
Lamia.
Well,
Naga, yeah.
yeah. Well, I think Lamia could also kind of fit. I don't remember what that is, but I know a Naga is the.
I think it's in some
Lamia
other
is
settings.
more Asian folklore.
Yeah, yeah, it's a
Yeah,
setting.
basically same snake person.
And I remember that in some parts, Nagas are like sea based or water based rather than just snakes. But depends on the I guess folklore, culture, setting, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, what I was gonna say that Christopher maybe wants us to be called the Naga lovers or something.
Christopher definitely does, but that's a little too personal.
Yeah, I see grave dust now as the PC crew name. So there it is. It's happening.
It's easy. It's a
Yeah.
single word.
Congratulations. 2.5
Well,
hours later, we have a crew.
yay!
So,
Unless
no, we have a crew.
What are you singing the crew name?
grape
Uh,
dust.
Under the PC on the tokens, it's now the name of the token, or in the PC folder. If you open up the crew sheet, it says
Okay.
Gravedust.
I see it now. Too.
Yep. All right.
Makes sense.
So we have created a crew. We have selected districts. Now, we have two options on what we can do first. We can fill in the who plan to and do your session goal before doing characters, or we could do characters. Either way. By goal, I mean season goal, not session goal. Session goal is for me to not lose my sanity.
You mean for like next session or
No, like the season. So like for like the next 10
no?
the 10 games we're playing. Think of this as like it's like a heist TV show. Like what is our overall season plan? So it could be so but I mean my question is, do you guys want to figure out that before characters, or do you want to do characters and then like which do you want to do first?
I mean, if we're gonna do figuring out the goal is a good way to, or a good support, I guess, to figure out your character. But I don't know.
I mean fair. So I mean things you could do, it's like season, like I do also have a list of possible crew goals if you guys want a place to start, but I kind of want you guys to think of some stuff on your own first, possibly.
Well, my character wants to find his lost sister and help bring down the Empire.
Okay, Luke.
No, it's Cassian. Cassian.
Okay,
Not
fair,
Luke.
fair, Cassian. Yeah. Okay, but so for the crew, like for this season, I guess because we're kind of still on that, we can do that. This is something that is reasonable. Like, do you want to like get more turf in Nightmarket? Do you want to become the most feared crew? Um, what would you guys like to do? And smuggling in your weird arcane goods.
It seemed like one of the times I was reading through the rules, there's something about if you get enough coins, your character retires.
Yeah, you can retire. And I mean, that can be a character goal of like wanting to retire.
It's our team goal. We all want to retire.
Become the most successful smuggler.
Yeah.
Well,
in
yeah. Well, I mean,
area.
this has got to be something we could do like reasonably, like in 10 sessions. So this is more like a seize control of like a specific racket, or like establish a smuggling like monopoly in this area, or here, let me
Smuggle
just
all the ghosts.
okay, not all the ghosts, but smuggle some ghosts.
They're all of them.
Well, it would be like expanding the Ossuary territory to
Yeah.
cover, the district or whatever. I'm guessing that's more more along the lines of what
Yeah.
we'd be looking at, like scale-wise.
If we're subtle, do we want to become more known or less known?
Well, expanding doesn't necessarily make you more known, so to speak. Like obviously, the bigger you are, the harder it is to not be noticed. But one can subtly take things over. I mean, that's basically every political story ever of like governmental exchanges, except for when revolutions happen.
Do we have any idea how many other teams are working as smugglers during the night watch? Are there other crews doing the same thing we do?
Oh, well, I mean, there's obviously the broke-back goats, but there probably are a bunch. But that is also up to you guys how you kind of want to do that.
And like other people have mentioned, getting a monopoly on being smugglers, at least in this section of town, or at least becoming so well known and so powerful that the other smaller ones that we let survive aren't really much of a threat against us.
I just dropped some sample ones in here. It's a giant wall of text. Feel free to ignore it. This was just if you guys wanted a thing that are kind of fill in the blank.
Ooh.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. And it did not format very well, but there it is.
One of them is dismantle rival crew piece by piece until their name is a curse. What if we did that to the back goats?
I love
Oh.
that.
Yeah, I like that. That's very bloody and blood out. Let's just destroy them.
It's not particularly smuggly oriented, but it is funny.
Well, the beautiful part
also
about it is that it's not completely, just related. It's something that gives contrast.
there's also embarrass or sabotage established factions to protect your people.
Wanna establish a mafia of smuggling and be the big papas.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to be like because we're like, we can't really go beyond the district, like in the scope of 10 sessions, but if you guys want to be like, the big papas of Nightmarket, or the like arcane weird smuggling scene, that can definitely be a goal for the season.
It could be like yeah, exactly, like the people you go to when you want to smuggle stuff in Nightmarket, like Jen.
Yeah.
So we want to get rid of the competition, dismantle them, embarrass them, buy them.
How long has our crew been in existence so far? Are we just now starting up?
You guys are a tier 0 crew, so you guys haven't. That's up to you guys how you want to do it.
I think
But
the first goal is just like establishing ourselves and getting a base of suppliers and customers. Like, nothing fancy. Just people that we're going to get us a steady income and get us a reputation being built. So we need to have a base built before we can move on to bigger and grander things like taking over the entire city or whatever.
sure, that could be more
Like
of
we're
a
getting way
season
ahead of
2.
ourselves. That's like 10th season stuff.
Yeah,
We're in
yeah.
first season.
Well, we can start by just dismantling the goat. What was it? The goat brokeback
Brokeback
goats?
goats.
Yeah, so we go with the Brokeback Ghost being the other smuggling group in our area. One of our
Yeah.
goals is to take them down, which will make room for us. Because all that stuff not like a vacuum. They're gone. We can fill in where they were.
Maybe we can make a name for ourselves by destroying them and getting attention that way.
Yeah, how you guys
We'll
do it?
just smuggle Brokeback Ghost right out of here.
Smuggling the goats.
Have the
How to do it?
goats stop smuggling. Wait, no. So would it be fair to
Yes.
say, make a name for ourselves?
We're gonna name for ourselves and take out the Brokeback Ghosts.
Make a name for ourselves by destroying them. Yes. Maybe we steal their stuff too.
Yeah, you want to take, like, that can be, like, kind of the first thing. Like, you're going to take over their operation. Alright. Look at
Yeah,
that.
down with the goat.
Look at that. We got a crew, we got a plan, we got a season arc. This will be great. Now we got to figure out who we are. Are we ready for this?
No.
Okay.
Nopal's like, nope.
That's
I
why his
painted my
name is
card.
Nopal, right?
Maybe.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Are you? Are you?
A little.
I have been discovered.
Alright.
It's my answer. My name is my answer. I should
Time.
change my name in the server.
Yeah. Time to create our scoundrels. So, you all each have a PC in there. It is yours. You may do with as you please. But, we're going to do this collaboratively, even if it kills us. Who are we playing? Step 1. Choose your playbook.
Whisper.
I don't think there was ever any question.
What?
Whisper.
It's like the
What's
spooky
that?
one.
Oh,
Good at magic
okay.
stuff and dealing with ghosts.
Sorry, I was distracted changing my name. Okay, yeah, the What is it? Is it classes or?
Basically.
Yeah, your playbook is your class.
Oh, okay.
So if you look in like the Google Doc that I had, there's like a short, like a how to create your character, and that one
Yeah, I
is
have it.
yeah, okay. So yeah, your playbook are those options. I didn't put all the specifics of that in the uh I lost the words again. I didn't put all the specifics into the player's guide because it's all in the PDF. But let's see, do I have these? No. But the options are whoever's in here now is a hamster. Cutter, Hound, Leech, Lurk, Slide, Spider, and Whisper.
What are the other three?
What?
Or is it four? Wait. Yeah, four. This four more, but I don't know what they are. Stranger, Ghost, Hall, and Vampire.
Those are special playbooks that we're not starting with. That a ghost is if your character dies. A hull is essentially if
Yeah.
you are like an autonomous construct, but like that is we're not starting there. That's not
Mhm.
happening. So those are like the special ones. So we're looking specifically at
The main six.
the main six, which I will put this basic info in the Foundry chat just so people can look at it. There you go.
So does anybody have one already they know they want to play?
Yeah, well, I mean, I believe Christopher has said Whisper.
Correct.
Clipper?
Something tells me that maybe Jenna wants to be the cutter because you wanted to play Bravos. And cutter is like the melee guy, right? Like the fighter. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's all right. The enforcers, the debt collectors and killers, the leg wakers, and the thugs. The hound is a ranger, basically.
Hound is basically, yeah, sharpshooter, sniper, ranger. But also, yeah, it's a ranger. A leech is
Leech.
your alchemist, and yeah, it's your alchemist and like skill monkey.
Bumps.
Lurk is your sneaky person. Slide is your charismatic bard. Spider's your mastermind, and Whisper's the one who talks to ghosts. I don't know. I think I'd
That's their
figured these
thing.
out. Jen, who the Leverage crew? Who are they in this? We'd figure. I mean, Nate's the Spider. If anybody else watches Leverage,
Yeah.
what was it?
Nate is Spider. Slide is Sophie. Leech is Hardison. Um, and then uh fucking Christ. Christian Kane's character is
Elliot.
both Hound and Cutter. Elliot.
Yeah.
And then
Parker's
Parker is
Lurk,
literally whatever she wants to be, but
typically
probably
Lurk.
also thief. Gimme, steely.
Right, which she would technically be. I think Lurk is stealthy infiltrator. So if you know those, those are the archetypes. And just like the crew type, that doesn't mean that's all you do. And you all could be the same, use the same playbook, and then still have completely different characters. That's fine too.
They do have a lot of abilities, so. Well, not a lot, but some.
Yeah. So let's see. I mean, we can kind of go. Let's see. I always there's the joke of going alphabetically, and then it becomes Christopher. So I'm gonna go reverse alphabetically and go Scott.
Oh, I'm like the worst person to pick first because I'm so much like the I'll just play whatever.
I know, that's why I picked you first.
Scott should be the mastermind. You should be a spider.
I really put me on the spot. I mean, I probably would like the role to be honest, but at the same time, let me see.
So one thing to look at is how you earn XP, because a lot of that comes down to like how you want to roleplay the character. That's like the big thing. So, like Spider, you earn XP when you address a challenge with calculation or conspiracy. Basically, when you're masterminding. So it's kind of like, what do you want to lean in doing? What looks like fun?
There.
What about you, Nopal?
No, me. I don't know. I feel like a leech.
All right. You want to
Drag.
address challenges with technical skill or mayhem? That is also the person that blows things up too.
Yeah. So the only thing that I don't like is that, well, not that I don't like, that it's maybe daunting, is the fact that they have a different sheet. They have like leech items and alchemicals.
Yeah, there is a
So
crafting aspect to that. If you don't want to deal with that,
mhm.
then
No, I think I'm the probably, well, I don't, I guess if I say so myself, I love doing tedious stuff. So
there you go. Because there's a whole section on craft. Nothing in this game is really tedious though, but there's a whole thing on crafting. Um. All right, Jen.
I was looking at Hound or Cutter because last time I was Leech and it was a little bit a lot. But I would also take Slide.
All right, Dirk.
Did you say my name?
Yes, yes. Sorry, Dirk. Who? What are you thinking?
Um, I would have liked Slide, except my voice is getting so bad these days. I couldn't really do it very well anymore. Like I like doing the whole making shit up and talking thing on this, but I don't know if I'm up to it anymore. So maybe the Whisper. Unless somebody else wants to play the spooky ghost person, I'll go with Whisper. That'll explain why I'm croaking all the time instead of speaking like a normal human.
I mean, if you want to do the slide, that's cool. Don't strain yourself with the voice, but I
No,
think
that's
we all
Jen
agree
was talking about this place.
we'll give
Jen
the
wanted to
space
play
for that.
Slide too, so yeah, one of those two, Slide or Whisper for me.
Okay.
I
And
think we can double up.
yeah, yeah, you guys can all be like one thing and it works. Like that's not a problem. Um, and Chris, I believe that you said whisper, 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 whisper.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So
I mean, it would make sense to have several
yeah,
whispers, or at
because
least two.
that's what you guys. I mean, that's what the crew's doing is weird stuff.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes sense. All right.
4 cutters, 1 Whisper.
All right. So basically, it's drawing a class onto the sheet is how you do it. There should be under the items tab classes. And like I said, it does have like the vampire and the hull and those. Like, please ignore that.
There isn't anything in items.
Okay,
Or
hang on. Nope. I need to give you guys permission.
What are we looking to do? Sorry.
You have to drag your classes onto your character sheet.
Yeah, they're in the compendium under.
Yeah, they are also in the
character options.
comparative. Yeah, true. I did import them in though, if that makes it easier for people. How Dirk, how does the iPad work with the drag and drop? If that's working. If not, I can put it on yours.
I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
You said somewhere besides the compendium?
Yes, under the items tab now, you should be able to see classes.
Items tab.
The thing looks like a suitcase.
Okay, there it wasn't there before.
Yeah, no,
Shit,
I
let's
didn't
see,
have the
what's this?
permission set.
Does not seem to be dragging and dropping.
All right, I got you. Which would you like?
I'm
You want
gonna go with
Whisper?
Whisper, I thought.
Okay, Whisper. I was just double checking before I did the thing. There you go.
Wow. That makes it really easy.
Yeah, no, I do like it because it auto-populates so many things on your guys' sheets. All right, let's see. Chris, you got yours.
Yes.
Can someone roll me a D2 because I don't know how to?
You
Is
could
it a
just
coin?
it's a coin. Or you could just roll a d4 and do odds and evens. Or I can roll a
I
d2
don't
for
have
you.
coin option.
Yeah, it's not on here. It should be /r 1d2. There you go. 2.
Cool. I hound now. Ah woo.
All right.
Mhm.
Woo. Okay. So now we got see Nopal. You know who? All right. You got the Leech, Scott. Are we spidering it up?
Yeah, I can do that. That's what I was thinking, looking at it. I'll drag it on.
All right. Excellent. Step 1. Now, step 2, and this is one where it is not all in here. So this will require the Google Docs because the Blade's Deep Cut supplement added some like sort of subtypes to the heritages if you didn't want to make it all up. So this is all in the Google Docs. Your heritage, it's where you're from. And this will give you 1 dot based on what you pick. You can be from any place in the Shattered Isles. There is Akaros, which is where Duskfall is situated. A land of dark, petrified forests and rocky hills. The rich coastal cities get their wealth from leviathan hunting and from mining colonies deep inland. The Akarosi are sometimes called Imperials since the Imperium began there. They are generally fair-skinned and dark-haired. I don't care. That's just copied from the book. Anybody looks like whoever. Also, whoever just joined is a unicorn. We have a hamster, an armadillo, a manatee, and a unicorn in Google Docs. Brilliant. So that's Akaros. You can have some of these things that are specific to Duskfall, then Uthswar and Akaros. Then we have the Dagger Isles, which is a tropical archipelago covered in dense jungle growth, now turned dark and twisted from the strange magics of the Cataclysm. Some say people live there without lightning barriers. How do they manage that? And it also gives the description. You know, I'm getting rid of this description. I don't care what people look like. You look like whoever you want to look like. We're not doing this. Go away. Iruvia is a place of black deserts, obsidian mountains, and raging volcanoes. Some say that positions of power are openly held by demons in Iruvia. Also, I believe Dirk played an Iruvian last time. Let's see. Then there's Skovlan, which is a ragged land of cold mountains and rough tundra. They were the last holdout against Imperial control. Basically, if you took the Irish and like made them a little bit Norse, they're the Rohirrim in a way. Although Severos is more of like the horse people, which is the next one, a land of windswept plains covered in dark scrub and thorny growths. Outside the imperial cities on the coast, some native Severosi still live in free tribes, scavenging the Deathlands on their ghost hunting horses. Oh, sorry, that's where the horses are. But that's more think like Mongol rather than Norse on horse Rohirrim.
Fair.
As far as culture. Now, admittedly, this is our game. We can do whatever we want with it. This is just going based off of how people tend to do it. Then there's Tycherosi, a far-off land disconnected from the Empire. People say that Tycherosi, rudely called strangers, have demon blood in their lineage. You're tieflings. That's what it is. It's a tiefling. And each one of those have the various options. The main thing is just where you're from. But some of these, like I said, like different things will give different suggestions for dots. that you can give on your character sheet and can kind of help you build out your character. Feel free if you need me to read any out or explain anything I can. I just don't want to yap at you guys while you're thinking about stuff.
My question is ultimately how many dots do we get
You
put
get
in?
a total of, let's see, it should be on, did I put it on the, yeah, so action dots on this scoundrel creation. You should have a total of 7, 4 from the playbook, 1 from your heritage, 1 from your background, and 2 free choices, which could be guided from either of those. The suggestions in the doc that I have 3, because those are just possible suggested for each one. But essentially, your playbook gives you... Wait a minute. I miscounted. You should have 8 dots. Wait a minute. The book miscounted. Hang on. Because that does not add. The math is not mathing. Oh no, what have I done? Oh, sorry. Okay. I was right. I mistyped something. Your playbook begins with 3 action dots placed. You get to add 4 more for a total of 7. 1 based on your character's heritage, 1 based on your character's background, and 2 freebies. With the max rating of 2 dots on the sheet. Which would be, when you see on here, you have the various dots up there with all the different action ratings. Does anybody need me to go over that? I think like if you played Vampire the Masquerade and other like dot systems, it's kind of, that's what it is.
Could you please go over it?
Okay, so each of those are actions. I believe if you hover over, the tooltip will tell you what you can do with it. And the more dots you have are the number of dice you roll in the pool. Therefore, more chances to roll well. So essentially, the more dots you are, the better you are at it. It's the like quick and dirty version of it. And notably, the actions are not necessarily... You can use this different action, they call them action ratings. You can use different action ratings to accomplish the same thing. So it's more how you do it. So like if you look at sway and finesse, so like finesse is you employ dexterous manipulation or subtle misdirection. Sway is influencing someone with guile, charm, or argument. If you're trying to get a blue coat to not notice you pocketing something, you could do either to do that. Are you charming them vocally, misdirection, or are you doing it more dex-based? Although, I have your sheet open as an example. You can only have 2 dots. Like, you got way too many in a tune.
So you can have a max 2 at this point?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sorry. Your max rating is 2. I didn't put that on, like, the short version.
Can I drag and drop stuff from the compendium and add it to the sheet, or do I have to do it by hand?
Drag and drop what stuff? Like the heritage?
Like, yeah, for example, the heritage.
Well, that you just type in, because that's not going to give you anything, because you pick the dots that you're putting for that. So you can literally just type it up at the top of your sheet if you want to. Or you can drag it in. But you do have to, like, come up with, like, where you guys are from. You know, and we are going to talk about it, so that's the thing. But yeah.
Well,
Did that make sense?
yeah.
Okay.
Void Gate Sentry sounds very good. It's literally the last one.
Oh, from Tycherosi, so you want to be like from a kind of tiefling person?
Yeah, I mean the
Yeah.
description of Void Gate Sentry fits very well with a leech that is
Yeah.
doing arcane stuff.
Yeah, so your family worked for the Imperial Ministry of Preservation, safeguarding the ancient void gate that allows rail travel to and from Tycheros. That is a thing. There isn't airplane travel. There's essentially stargates between locations that a train runs through. That's what a void gate is. Um, so yeah, you've been working on that. Cool. Anybody else got one?
I'm still thinking.
Okay, remember when you're
With
done,
Deathlander.
you should have a total of 7 red dots on your sheet.
A Deathlander.
Ooh.
I'm not sure the typo where it is. I'm not sure what's going on here.
So a Deathlander, you can be from technically any region. The way this is done, which just means that you lived outside the protective measures, the people of your homeland. So you could choose to be from like the Duskfall area, or you could be from any of the other islands.
Yeah, he'll be from the Dustwall area just to make it
Okay,
simple.
then Akaros would be the technical heritage if you wanted to type that in, or I can. Because like I said, you don't have to drag it over. I can also type it in if it's easier with iPads.
Well, it's not letting me type anything in right here. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to type it.
Oh, it might be locked. Like if your sheet's locked. Aha. Let me unlock your sheet. There we go.
I don't do something.
You should be able to click heritage under the name. If your sheet is locked, it is the like upper right of the sheet, right under the close button. There's a little like master lock looking thing. Yes, Jen?
Yeah. What's the difference between the vibes of command and consort?
Command is intimidation. Consort is persuasion. Vibes wise.
Thank you. Vibes wise, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it will type anything up there. It's not,
Okay, up in the heritage thing. Oh, I got it.
yeah.
It might be being I can't spell. Akaros. There we go. Your heritage is in.
Dagger Isles, Bonewalker.
Nice. Do you want to read that one out?
Yeah, 1 second. Your family was devoted to the secret knowledge of the intertwining realms of life and death, acting as mediators between the ghost field and the living world.
Nice, nice. Scott, you got a background or heritage?
No, I'm pouring through and thinking.
Okay. Jeff, are you thinking?
I have picked Skovlan, so I can do accents.
Very fair. So like I said, so Skovland is somewhere like Norse
The
Irish.
cold mountains, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I saw cold mountains and my brain said, do Russian accents. So.
All right. That works for me. Nopal. That's right. Oh, that's right. That's right. You have the Tycheros.
Mhm.
Yep. So Scott, I think is like the holdout on that. That's fine. You can keep thinking. All right. Do you mind if I move on to background though?
Oh, feel free. I was just gonna pick Akaros at the end.
Okay, fair. So background describes what you did beforehand, and this one I did manage to get in. If you don't want to pick from the list on in the doc that I have rollable tables. If you just want to do rollies for it.
I request rollies, please.
Alright. You should have access.
Only vices.
Only vices. Alright, let me fix that. Backgrounds.
Yes.
Nope, that one's not right. My bad. My bad. Hang on. Not that single one. What you want is it's going to be a folder. And that's what you want. The folder, because you're going to have to pick which one of those, because that's just how it is in the sheets. So, academic, labor, law and military, noble, trade, or underworld. But you may pick one of those and do rollies. Or read through all of them and choose. Up to you. Can you roll off those sheets?
Nothing's popping up when I click on anything.
Maybe because I did observer rather than owner. Let's do owner. There we go. Our dice roll.
Alright. Yeah, that was me. Just to see. Yeah. This is hidden. Whatever I got for a result.
Oh, okay. Hang on. That's because the items are also. Alright, now you should be able to see them, because I gave you ownership of it. If that one doesn't work, it was Roof Runner.
Wait a second. Maybe that wasn't me.
I rolled off of Underworld.
Oh, okay, that was you then. Which one did you roll off of?
I'm not rolling off anything I click on doesn't do anything in that. That's fine. I mean, I can do this without
Well,
rolling.
yeah, I think you have to, like, click it open and then do the roll. Like, I don't think it does the one-click roll. I don't have it set up
Yeah,
to do that.
nothing's
Okay.
coming open when I...
Is there one you'd like for me to roll off for you?
No, I might have to reload because
Yeah.
nothing's working
Okay.
for me.
Yeah,
So
sounds like
it
it.
might have... I might have got logged out or something.
I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know what
okay,
Roof
yeah.
Runner means.
You should be able to click on the thing and it'll pull up a description. A roof runner, you are a lookout, scout, or messenger for an underworld gang. The rooftop routes across the city were your playground.
That's pretty good for a hound.
Yeah. The suggested dots are hunt, prowl, or survey. And speaking of hounds,
look at
here's
that.
a hound! A Remy!
Remy. I am confused about the total amount of dots, not where they come from, but at some point during the numbers, my brain said, forget all numbers.
That's because I typed the wrong on the action dot list on this thing. It should be 3 from the playbook, 1 from the heritage, 1 from the background, and 2 freebies.
Okay.
So you should have 3 already selected from Hound.
Correct.
Then you get to put 1 for being Skovlan, based on that. And then 1 based on, say you're a roof runner, based on being a roof runner. And then you get 2 freebies.
Okay, thank you.
Alright, I've decided that my character previously, or at least, the background is an artist, a painter of surreal landscapes.
Ooh.
And how they ended up getting into spider work, that's a whole other story.
I mean,
This
I guess you gotta
background,
figure that out.
yeah.
Anybody else have their background settled?
I have no idea what I'm doing because I got very distracted. Sorry.
Okay, so if you're in the doc that had all the heritages and stuff, scroll down, you'll see
Mm-hmm,
backgrounds.
mm-hmm. I'm here.
Pick one of those.
Ooh.
Cultist.
Yeah, I figured.
Hmm.
Oh.
Railjack. Work the rail lines. Repelling vengeful ghosts. Damn.
Yeah.
Of the Deadlands. Nice.
Yeah.
Bro, you train surf for work.
Trains. I like trains. That's gonna be my whole thing. I like trains. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna take that one. Sounds cool.
Oh yeah, academic spectrologist.
Ooh.
Nice.
Oh, it's that's
I will
successfully. All right.
I will put that in there for you. I
Smugglers.
just I just had to
Thank you.
copy paste spectrologist because there was no way I was going to spell that right. But I have to step away momentarily. I shall return. Carry on.
Oh, that's right. Did all that. Special abilities.
I've decided to put uh lots of dots places. Well, not lots, but I now have hunt, prowl, skirmish, survey, and consort.
Nice.
But for like the exact backgrounds, I'm like having a hard time between picking like Imperial Collaborator or Onyx Cathedral.
Hmm.
I have returned to silence.
I think we're all in deep looking at things.
Okay.
Probably.
Let me know if anybody has any other questions. And if you don't have like the exact dots or things like that right now, like that's okay. We have time to think about it.
I'm mostly just trying to figure out the exact like heritage background kind of thing that my character was doing because like there are so many good choices under Skovlan.
I mean, you can mix and match. Those are really just suggested. Where this comes up is one, the dot that you
Oh,
get, and two, like if you want to call to your background, like, or like your heritage, like, well, I used to do this, so I would know more about this. Like, that's what that's for. So if you want to create your own, that's fine. Those are there as like
okay.
a, here are some options.
Okie dokie, fair.
Sam, did you say you typed my background in?
I did. Is it not showing up?
It's not showing up. Maybe you typed in somebody else's character sheet.
I typed on Dirk PC, academic spectrologist.
Huh.
I mean, maybe there was a
I
blip in Foundry, which is why it wasn't working for me.
Yeah.
I just turned academic. That's now I see it. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was just a blip. I had to like do it again.
So the last two dots are free.
Yep, the last two dots are free. You can be guided by like the suggested from your background and heritage. You can pick whatever you want. And then once those are done, or if you're still thinking about them, it's just picking contacts. And then you got to pick your vice. And for people who are not sure about vices, I believe yes, I did make a rollable table for vices, if you would like that.
It was only start with two dots in one spot, right? At most.
Yep, at most two.
Okay. And the special abilities, we just get one of those, or how does that work?
Yeah, with special abilities, you just get one. It's the same as the crew. With that one, I believe on the character sheet in here, they're done just in regular old alphabetical order. So if you want to know the one that they suggest, that would be in the PDF, but I can look that up. So
we get one that we get to pick, and there's another one that is based on our crew. Is that what you said?
No. I said it was the same thing as starting with the crew, where you get one special ability. So yeah, you get one. Okay, and it looks like they did do it where like the top one, for Whisper is compel, which is like their suggested. Although I don't know if you and Chris want to like talk. So I mean, I don't know if you want to have different ones or like how you want to do that. Doesn't matter. Again, you can have the exact same sheet and play different characters. That's fine with the system.
Is Chris playing a Whisper too?
Yes.
I thought you could play a cutter. Anybody playing a cutter?
Nope.
No, do you want to change
I'll
over to
start
that?
over again.
Okay.
I'll be a cutter then.
I mean, it's totally
Sorry,
fine if
unnamed
you guys play the same thing, but if you want to play a different thing.
No, I like the idea of a cutter, but it's not like several people already wanted to play
No,
cutter.
we did not end up with a cutter at all. So
Maybe you drag cutter in here on top
Yep.
of Whisper, or should I make a new character sheet?
no, I should be able to. Let me just pull that over. It should replace it.
You get all the ghost stuff, not Chris. It's all yours.
All right, there we go. And if you want to change
I will make ghosts.
the background stuff, let me know.
Yeah.
And
4 hour work wasted.
when it comes to items, how does that work?
So items you don't worry about now. Items you worry about when the time comes.
Oh,
So
they are like, I use it.
Quantum.
Yeah,
And then-
it's you have Schrodinger's items when you leave. If on your
Okay.
character sheet there's a backpack, like up by like the little mask man, there's coins, a backpack, and then blood. If you go to the backpack, you'll see your load, and where you can set it. And what that essentially means is how many items can you carry. But you don't pick what you're carrying now, you pick it when you need it in a moment.
Okay. Now I remember that from the
Yeah,
one shot.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So essentially, like, if you have a normal load, it's like you have 5 slots that you can pick stuff, but you determine what those are through play.
Gotcha. Okay.
So theoretically, you could have any of the things on your list.
Understood.
Yeah. Science. Quantum science. Is the stopper bias basically just getting wasted?
Yeah. Stupor is basically getting wasted, yeah. Or, like, out of your mind in some way. They have examples of where you could get the vice from, like different vice purveyors in the city. And the examples are like taverns, casinos, what they call a powder dealer. Okay, I guess that's some nose candy. Uh, a social club, a brothel, a pleasure barge, a smoke shop. So yeah, basically it's you just when you don't want to remember things.
Obligation.
Obligation is things like faith, or like family members or heritage, former coworkers, any sort of secret society. Basically, like, are you part of an organization outside of the crew that you spend time with? I know for Dirk's character last time it was the Iruvian embassy, and so there was a bit of like he had to do work for the embassy during downtime when like indulging the vice.
So I could be working with trains.
You could.
Sorry guys, I gotta go play with the trains.
Nopal's
Put some
officially the train
magnetic
guy.
boots.
All right, whoever just rolled because it rolled off the PC crew. Who just did rollies and rolled weird?
Me.
Yo! Alright, weird. Your options that they give you could be the hooded proprietor of a half-flooded grotto tavern near the docks. Father Yorin of the House of the Weeping Lady in Six Towers. The House of the Weeping Lady is kind of like a charity cult thing, like alms for the poor. Salia, a spirit of the reconciled, which moves from body to body at their whim, so you're just friends with a ghost. Sister Thorn, Deathland Scavenger. So I guess like you talk about weird stuff that they found out there. Ojak, a let's try that again. Ojak, a Tycherosi rooftop market vendor. Or Arana the Blessed, a cultist of a forgotten god. So basically, what weird stuff do you get up to? Because you can pick anything.
Not gonna lie, the first two kind of went over my head because I was trying to copy paste something.
Oh, that's fair. If you guys go to the items pages, let me set this to where you guys can see. There should be the vices there. If you click to open them, it has the list of like the ones that they suggest in the books if you want to see it. So that's the suitcase tab. There should be vices.
Can you update my ancestry?
Yes, I can.
Use Skovlan,
All right. Oh,
black
okay.
rail, no, blood colors. Oh, there's space for that.
I can try to put it. You said blood colors?
Blood colors, yeah.
Yep. All right. There should be. Yep, there we go. So let's see. What were you doing then? That is your family practiced one of the most dangerous professions in the Shattered Isles, trailing Leviathan hunter ships in a small craft in secret to scavenge demonic blood and bone shards at the site of the hunters' attacks. Massively risky, extremely illegal, but quite lucrative. If you survive and got away with it. Man, that's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I picked Ojak.
Okay, all right, you gonna go with Ojak?
Yep, rooftops are my home.
That's fair. That is fair.
I'm going weird with Salia.
Also fair, and as expected. For the record, I'm normally not this, like, for anyone listening, I'm normally not this salty with my players. It's just some of these folks I've been playing with for years. I know them. I know their types.
Mm. I don't want to 100% stick to the trains. It's getting repetitive. But trains!
Trains are very important. I mean, they are such a big part of our section of the city, so it would make sense for it to be your thing.
And just, like,
I
traveling the
feel like
Shattered Isles at all. Like,
Hmm.
there should be a luxury that's a train model building.
there is now if you want it
There
to be.
Hell yeah.
I am the president of the club of the train model building.
All right.
I got responsibilities. I got trains to build.
Well, you've got to have, like, your vice purveyor. There's got to be somebody. So I'm going to say, like, maybe you can't necessarily be the president of it, but you are a member. And whoever is, like, the leader of it. I mean, if you really want to be the president of it, you can.
I'll be the vice president.
Vice president. Okay. Then put on your sheet for the uh vice purveyor model trains.
Trains, just trains in all capitals.
Just
Trains.
I can create we can create a thing for that. All right.
Luxury. Vice purveyor trains. I mean, it would have to be someone that already sells exotic stuff, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, they're model train builders. Like, they're like, I watch a lot of people on YouTube that do model trains. My grandfather used to do model trains, actually. That's a thing. So yeah, like that'll be a society. We can figure that out. All right. Let's see. So we got weird. Scott, what you thinking for Vice?
Oh, pleasure, theater snob.
Oh, okay. Why did I? All right.
Oh, was that so obvious? Theater snob. At least I had an
Yeah.
answer.
That is true. That is true. You are also the one that has a name already, because I was like, oh wait, who has a name? Because I was like, that moved. All right.
Got the alias, but I don't know about the train.
I decided not to go with goth lady this time.
Yeah, I was like, what?
What?
Dude, he, him. Who is this? Is it Horatio again? Actually, no. This honestly
No.
sounds like London or Landon.
Yeah, that'd be closer to that. Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, we gotta decide who our friends and rivals
Yep,
are, right?
on your dangerous friends, you got to pick one to like sort of upvote as like your close friend and one to downvote as a rival. Dirk, do you need me to switch background stuff? You still thinking about it?
Hold on a second here. Oh, okay. I'm not muted. Yeah. He's going to be a labor factory worker.
Alrighty.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Okay, I put that in. It might be one of those you might end up having to like close the sheet and reopen it to see like if I did
All
that
right.
change.
And I'm looking at vices right now.
All right.
Oh. I have an idea. I'm not sure where it is in here.
So if you want to look at the ones that have the list of all the purveyors, it's in Foundry under the suitcase tab. Vices.
Okay.
There's a folder that you can click those and open them that have the lists.
I've picked my deadly friends and my
Nice.
nemone.
Who is your friend and who is your nemone? Yes, I'm going to say it that way now.
Cassia, a bounty hunter, is my nemone, and then Styrir, an assassin, is my friend. Because I thought that was really funny.
I mean, checks out.
Yeah, the only reason the bounty hunter hasn't done anything about it is because there's also an assassin going, huh?
Yeah,
Wait.
no, we're friends. We're buddies.
I went with my positives. August, a master architect, because there needs to be some stability in the absurdity of all the surrealism, and plus you can corrupt the architecture for surrealism. And then my foe rival is Riven the chemist, because I've totally stolen shit from them to make the art look more real.
Ooh, nice.
I did have a good alias name, and then I realized it's a terrible alias name. Discord.
I mean, if you wanted to.
Well, the problem is I'm worried about, confusing things like, is Discord working?
Oh yeah, that is
I
a
don't
good
know.
point. That is a good point. I mean, at least it could
That's
be
why
worse. It could be like Alexa.
No, fuck that. I know too many Alexas. And the robot.
What is a psychonaut?
Pretty sure that's
A
just
video game.
a fancy way that they're saying people who do drugs. Like people who want to expand their mind with drugs.
So I'm thinking the closest thing on these devices would be stupor, maybe.
Okay.
I can't see the bottom one. Like the bottom one gets cut off. I think it's weird.
Yeah, weird.
What does that? What does that entail?
Weird is any of the arcane stuff. I read it out for Jen. It's
Don't worry about
essentially
it. That's enough.
if you want to deal with
Yeah,
any,
that's fine.
yeah, the arcane stuff like Forgotten
He
God.
he deals with his stress by going out and getting in a big bar fight, basically. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Basically, he's generally getting himself his ass kicked.
All right. So would you say that's
But
like stupor, but like
that's what I'm
bar
saying.
fighting?
Stupor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now on the list of those, there are like some options for stupor. I would suggest not doing it at Roland Valeris the Vale Social Club because that's where you guys are wanting to work. I feel like bar fights would probably be elsewhere.
Jewel, bird, and shrine. Cat
That
crawl alley the docks.
so they
Who's
are
that?
each. I think those are people.
Okay.
Because of the way it is, it's not bolded here, but in the PDF, those are bolded individually, which makes me think that like
Okay.
you're losing yourself in people for that one. Um,
I guess I don't know. I'm not sure this is working well with a device because he doesn't necessarily go to the same person to get beat up every time. You know what I mean? He's just gonna have to, have a favorite bar, but he wouldn't go to like
well, yeah, you
Roland
can have,
Valeris.
but it could be like Martin Gull, the Leaky Tavern, because like he owns the or the Leaky
Right.
Bucket
Okay.
Tavern,
Right.
because you go
Okay, that
there,
works then.
but instead of drinking, you're getting punched in the face.
Yeah. I'm doing some punching in the face also.
Yeah, well, yes, but like it's the like that aspect of it. Yeah, no, that
All
totally
right.
makes sense.
I'll go with that guy then.
All right.
Martin Gull.
Okay, do we all have a good idea of our characters, even if it is not completely done? Or does anybody have questions?
I have not picked a special ability. That's the only thing that I need help with.
Okay.
Did you type stupor all that stuff in my character sheet?
Oh yeah, let me get that. All right.
But
Are you stuck between two, or do you not know any of them for Jen?
I've read through them all. I have read through them all. I just don't know what to take.
So let's see, you are Hound. That's right, you are a woo. So their suggested is sharpshooter.
Okay.
If you don't know what to take that one. But you guys can also talk it through if you'd like. I mean, I'm not trying to cut that off. I'm just saying that's their suggested.
Yeah, that's the suggested one.
Well, if you want to know what I picked for my character, I went with ghost stuff, obviously. I had two options which were related to ghost stuff, which is Ghost Ward and Physicker, I think it is. Because, like, physician. And
Yeah.
Ghost Word is basically blowing stuff up, but with ghost stuff. It says that I can blow stuff up, but either make it enticing to spirits or anathema, which is cool. And Physicker is basically a doctor. It says that you can tinker with bones, blood, and other bodily humors to treat wounds or stabilize the dying. But since I'm not going with a doctor, I went with Ghost Word, so I can blow off stuff ghost style.
Nice.
Yeah. I do have a thing, and this might be a later on thing, which is vengeful, where I get an an additional XP trigger when I give someone payback.
Huh?
And if the crew helps me get that said payback, the crew also gains like crew XP.
Oh.
I mean, that could be good for storytelling.
Yes,
It's
that
like
could
a
be
good
good for
storytelling hook
storytelling.
in there.
But I also have like Ghost Hunter, which gives me a pet. And we all know me. The internet doesn't know me. I'm a big pet person. I like animals and little friendies, so it's
Uh,
very tempting.
you just have a hunting pet. Or you can choose to
Oh,
bring it in your
have one?
load. So look at your
Oh.
sheet under items.
Oh, yeah, trained hunting pet. Oh, Ghost Hunter just gives my pet
Ghost
extra
hunting
doodle.
abilities. Yeah. It levels up
Okay.
your pet. So yeah, no, if you choose to spend part of your load, it looks like oh no, it doesn't. It's not a load. It's like a free load thing. So you just have it. You can just choose to bring it.
Oh my god, I got a pet, guys.
Oh my god, she's got a pet, guys.
This
Hey, I played a
a ghost
hound
pet.
before.
Yeah,
I like the hound. Hound
yeah.
was good.
yeah, what kind of pet do you get in the city of Duskwall? Like
I
I'm not
don't
quite so
know.
disease rat.
It could definitely be a rat, or it could be like a
Or
burb.
it could be 3 rats with a knife.
Yeah,
A
those are the three
squirrel?
rats of the night.
3 rats in a trench coat with a knife.
All right.
Jesus.
I mean, you can have. I mean, I will also allow it, like if you have multiple animals, because this is kind of like a ranger type vibe. If you just want to choose like what hunting pet you're bringing out that day, um, that's what you have. So it functions like okay, cohort, expert hunter. Let me pull up the rules on that. Uh, Here we go. Expert. And it does not tell me. Okay, that's just their type. All right. Yeah, so it does look like you might have to do like edges and flaws on your pet, maybe, because it is a cohort. We can figure that out. We can figure that out.
Okay.
Um, but you do have one.
Yeah. So like sharpshooter and venturer are looking more and more good. Uh, Ghost hunter, which imbues pet with certain things, also looks very good. Has not helped at all. That's fine. It's cool. I got this. Yeah. Who wants odds on I'm gonna get the pet shit figured out before I even find a picture of what my character looks like?
Well,
It sounds like you-
on that topic, I don't know, Nopal? Art?
what you want me to explain?
Yes.
Want me to? Well, I mean, you
What you were
already
gonna do?